Hey guys, it is the 22nd of January, 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast of the United States, of course. And I am here with the first winter review, winter review for the 2022 season of anime. This year, for 4PlayerAnimecast and our first ever review of 2022. Of course, I am your host, Aspire, and with me are my patriots, Near,
Hey,
Toast.
Spire, why don't you like McDonald's fries?
Wait, didn't I say I actually did like it, or did I say I didn't like it? I felt like I
I,
said I
I,
liked them.
I saw that tweet where you do that one emote and you get fries.
Did I? Feel
And but
like
then
I.
what the pinched finger?
yeah,
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
no, that one, yeah, it's good, yeah.
why don't you
Yeah.
like fries?
Yeah, I just hate them.
You should
They remind
explain.
me, yeah.
You should explain to everyone why you don't like pinched fingers
Yeah,
emote.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
give
hate
us
I hate that emote. It reminds
give
me
us
of
a
the
culture.
Yeah,
yeah the
Enlighten
culture of the
us.
yeah. I'll have to come back to that a bit later. But anyways, Dark, how have you been?
I have been okay.
All right, pretty good, pretty good.
how's your what was the thing? How's New York? I heard there's some fun things happening in New York.
Yeah, it's really cool. I kind of try and stay completely ignorant on half the shit that happens. Um, as usual, we have the curse of any mayor we have turns out to be like a goon. So,
Mhm.
what else is new? A New York mayor saying stupid shit.
All right. So let's just go over our 2
How are
weeks.
you? How are you, Spire? We
My
didn't. You didn't talk about you or near. What?
or
Well, we didn't do
uh
weeks yet, correct?
yeah,
Yeah,
I was about
we
to go
haven't
into
gotten
weeks.
into weeks yet.
Yeah, I was.
Too
Well, I
late.
guess I'll start off, but my 2 weeks was pretty good. A lot of the stuff. Well, I mean, there is still some stressful stuff, but some of the major stressful stuff in my life have been dwindling down, and I've been getting a little bit of a better balance in my, I guess, work life. You could say so. It's been pretty decent so far, and the good thing is there has been not. Well, I guess it's not that good since it's still pretty cold outside, and I don't really um, and I can't run as much because it's like super, super like bone chilling cold. But at least there's no like snow blizzard and stuff. I was a little bit worried for a bit because during the initial snowfall, what happened was my car's dashboard actually went out, and it was apparently I went to the I went to the mechanic, and it wasn't because of the any like fuse issues. It was apparently because of the instrument board was something was conking out. So I was like, okay, so literally my odometer, my pedometer, like my gas, like indicator, everything is out because the entire dashboard is out. So I had to essentially
Just
regularly schedule my like when I would refuel and like use my GPS to see how many miles I was at and stuff like that. But then a week after the snow settled, or a week after the snow melted, the dashboard actually came back on. So I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not going to question it. I'm not going to question anything. I'm not going to question anything.
Yeah, the
And
wonders of fucking car issues.
yeah. So
just
everything has
walk,
been
bro.
going pretty decently. Yeah, I actually did walk for like 2 months plus, to my office and back during the time I didn't have a car with me. But that's a story for much, much later. But yeah, that's my last 2 weeks have been pretty good. I've been hearing some rumblings of some visual novels, a lot of visual novels here and there being released, and some being announced as that. And my usual rants about visual novels not being very good these days,
Oh,
and a lot of stuff being
how
announced.
are you? What's up in visual novel land, Spire?
I think most recently it was even just 1 or 2 days ago, right? Minato Soft, known for obviously their work with Majikoi, right? Majite watashi ni koi shinasai. Please love me seriously. They released their daughter slash sister company, right? The spin-off company, Minato Soft Carnival, I believe their name is, right? They released like a very small, like size kind of mystery-ish novel or visual novel, right? And that's the usual trend these days. It's most visual novels are extremely small. They're like one route, one heroine kind of stuff. They're extremely like they're not even a lot of them aren't even like fan discs. Like stuff that was considered fan discs in, let's say, late 2000s would be legit like 3 volume packs in 2022. That's that's how much of a change there is. So my usual discomfort, displeasure with that sort of stuff, but it is what it is.
You got
But
any
anyway,
spicy recommendations? Because I got some for you.
I don't know about spicy. I just want to go back and read older stuff, to be honest.
Okay. Well, Spire, let me ask you. How
Yes.
much do you like the Führer?
Not very much. I would say I dislike him a lot. For
Wait,
obvious
what?
Have you heard?
I-
Have you heard of this spicy VN called "Sex with That Guy's Name"?
that guy's name.
I'm not gonna say the name, but yeah,
I don't think he's not Voldemort, right? Like we're
Yeah,
not.
I'm not. I'm
he who
not
shall
gonna
not be
say it.
named.
I
We're
saw
not gonna get
playthrough.
banned on Twitch
You
for
know
saying
who.
his name.
I saw a
We're not gonna
playthrough
get
of the
banned on Twitch for
Persona
saying his
1.
name.
I'm
We
not
just
gonna
need to
say
make
his
sure.
name.
We just need to make sure that nobody summons him from the depths of hell, and b
Well,
that
it's pretty.
nobody follows his ideology. That would be really nice. B especially.
Spire,
So
I saw Persona 2. I know he's called the Führer. I will not invoke his name.
that's good at least. We can prevent the demon summoning right here
I think it's
during the
on. I think
podcast.
it's on Steam if you're interested.
Yeah, don't say his
Okay, well,
name 3 times into the mirror after every time.
don't say yeah. But yeah,
How about Trinoline Genesis? I heard it's an expansion to the original one.
oh, I've heard that. Yeah.
Is it good?
I've only heard of it. I haven't played it or anything like that.
What about Virtual Maid Streamer Rami? It's about VTubers,
No. How about no?
but it's an apprentice angel maid who debuted as a VTuber. Her channel has almost 1 million subscribers. Damn, that's a lot.
I don't know. The
What
only
about Nin Nin Days 2? That came out, right?
oh, I've heard of that too. A lot of these are very like light ones. I think the only really big one that's like solidly come out recently, other than the Minato Soft one. I mean, even the Minato Soft Carnival one isn't that big. But Rewrite Plus, I guess that's not even a new one. It's just like an expansion, and they changed stuff. And they're apparently they
It
like
has,
specifically like made censored CG or something like that for it, or whatever it was.
but
It was
that would
weird.
require going through rewrite again. Okay,
Yeah, nobody
well,
wants to do that. That's true. But yeah, again, I haven't. It's been pretty relaxing 2 weeks for me, so that's pretty good. After working through, I actually did work through between the Christmas weekend and the New Year's weekend. I did actually work the entire week then, so it's been a decent reprieve this month for me. It is what it is. Anyways, enough about me. Let's move on to Near. What have you been doing these past 2 weeks?
hey, Near, nice article you just linked.
Yeah, fucking
You should
annoying.
bring it up.
I'm good. To be honest, I'd really rather not talk about this stupid fucking article. Um,
Don't worry, Aspire can bring it up for the news.
yeah, I'm sure he's gonna do that.
Breaking news.
Um, my 2 weeks. So Monster Hunter Rise came out for PC. So I've been playing that. Been having a few issues with it because it's a bit.
How janky is it?
It's not the greatest port. I was having some issues where my game would just straight up freeze. Whenever I tried to like connect to something,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
I
I've heard.
think I think I fixed it. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, fun game. I like Monster Hunter a lot. Um, I've been playing
Is it
since
is it
like
the best Monster Hunter game so far?
what, Rise?
Yeah. Is it
No.
better than World?
Um, I'd say it's more of a Monster Hunter game than World.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, it's very much lacking content. So it's like
But it has that super cool jet dragon. What's his name again?
Oh,
Valstrax.
Valtrax.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
That thing's awesome.
He's from Double Cross as well, or Generations Ultimate, the Westerners. But yeah, it's a fun game. I put like 60 something hours into it already.
You can't
But
carry over your save file, I assume.
no, Capcom said it was technically impossible.
I don't believe that.
For
And
what?
apparently to carry over saves.
From other Monster Hunter games?
No, from the Switch
Like
version,
Switch.
dude.
Oh. I mean,
Um,
honestly, I wouldn't be that surprised if that's true.
Yeah, there was some modder that was like, I'm gonna do it just to spite Capcom, and I haven't heard anything, so I'm gonna
Well,
assume it was technically impossible to do. So, especially considering modders don't have access to like cloud saves on the Switch. But other than that, I've been keeping up with Shadowverse. It sucks, and
how
I
about
thought it was
Master Quest, New Year?
Tanoshi. What's up?
yeah, Shadow
Aren't you guys playing
Patanoshi.
Master Quest yet?
What the hell
Master
is
Quest?
Master Quest?
Master Duel. Whoops.
Master Duel, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh.
I'm thinking of Ocarina of Time. My bad.
I don't. I'm not a Yu-Gi-Oh player, and
Nah.
also I don't understand what the difference between Master Duel is and Duel Links. Like,
Master
I
Duel
think
is
it's
the
mainly
original.
just
It's
pool.
the
It's the
original
card
rules.
pool. It's all
oh,
the original rules,
Oh.
It's
and
not.
then like
It's
a
not.
lot of them
What's
is just
Dual
like different card
Masters?
pools.
I don't know anything on Duel Masters. I still don't
Wait.
know. I've been watching Card Fight Vanguard. I still don't know how to play Vanguard at all.
yeah,
It's like, oh, here's my Vanguard. I'm like, what? I don't know. Like, is that your main monster? What's this?
yeah. Other than that, I have been raiding in Final Fantasy
Oh
14.
shit!
We've been doing the Savage raids, and pretty fun. We cleared P1, P2, and we're currently on P3, and that fight sucks balls. It's really hard and has a lot of really dumb mechanics. But yeah, that's pretty much my 2 weeks.
Okay, pretty good, pretty good. What about you, Ghost?
What? Oh, I'm looking at Virtual Maid Streamer Rami. It's 10% off on Steam. I might get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was your 2 weeks.
What about Hello Lady Complete Edition? I've seen this before. I think I've seen this before. I don't know what the Complete Edition's about though.
Again, like
But
this
I'm
is
interested.
this is not like aimed at you, but it's like in general. But when I see reviews of visual novels, I know it's because the demographic that's into visual novels and kind of know the localization these days aren't the same people that were stuck in fan subbing hell, right? Fan localization hell back in what, like 15 plus years ago, right? It's the people that know Grisaya localized version. It's the people that know the spin-off or whatever, right? That were like fed on the spin-offs and know like Nekonin and like
Yeah.
Doki Doki Literature Club and Nekopara and all this garbage, right? And I don't know, it like almost hurts me when people are like, like what sort of visual novels are your favorites? What sort of things are, what sort of game visual novels do you want to see, right? And I mean, even Ubisoft, like Ubisoft, it's so vanilla these days. It's like like Ubisoft was already vanilla when they started, right? When it was when they started with that, what was that vampire visual novel? fucking does anybody remember the name? Do I have to do this myself? You
No.
guys,
Which
am I the
one?
only?
There's a bunch of vampire visuals.
I don't read, buddy.
No, the
Fire.
it's
You
by
want a vampire?
Ubisoft.
You want a vampire visual novel? Tsukihime.
Dracu Riot. Yeah, Dracu Riot.
Oh, Draco.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Even from like Noble Works and Dracu Riot days, right? They were already extremely vanilla. Like Dracu Riot almost put me to sleep. Like while I was reading it, it was already not that like it was pretty boring.
This guy
And
hates
then they became
vampires.
yeah, I fucking hate any sort of action. Sorry, guys. And then by the time they got to Senran Banka, got to Riddle Joker, even to like Cafe Stella, they became so vanilla. I can't even go through half of like a regular run. And these people, like, even that is like maybe tolerable, maybe not tolerable. But then these people are out here like, yeah, I want to see more Front Wing Grisaya spin-offs, or like I want to see Nekopara, Gay Boys #5 or whatever
Bro,
it
I
is, right?
really need Nekopara Part 6, dude. I
Yeah.
really need it.
And I'm like, how did we go from wanting August visual novels, wanting, the Koime like Moe Shoden, which is like fucking huge, wanting the Majikoi stuff, wanting, Amagami, Love Plus,
Hey,
which like
Amagami's
even if
great. Leave Amagami alone.
no, I'm saying like we should want them. Yeah, we should want Amagami Love Plus, and even if you don't like them, you should recognize them as being like killer. Like okay, Tokimeki Memorial, like Tokimemo, Love Plus, Amagami. I'd say like those three are the three like three great guardian spirits of visual novels and like
Uh,
simulation games. I would say honestly.
Nekopara?
Sorry, I
Doki Doki
apologize.
Literature Club?
Yeah.
Katawa
Yeah.
Shoujo? Ever heard of it?
Hey,
Yeah.
but Katawa Shoujo is free. It's free right now.
Yeah, Katawa
You should
Shoujo is
download it.
also like the first visual novel, so like,
Yeah.
And people are like, why aren't what is it like Nitro Plus making more stuff like Sayano Uta? And like Sessia said, like man. And the thing is, it's like Sayano Uta was like okay. I think like personally, I'm gonna have a pretty unpopular take here. I
Personally, I'm
think
more of like a Magabay kind of guy.
yeah, and,
What's the? Oh, that's the one with the witches,
Clockworks,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
What is it? Euphoria? Yeah, I'm more of a Euphoria kind of guy. But
Man,
yeah,
shut up,
Euphoria-
dude. Shut up.
Euphoria's
personally,
yeah, whatever.
personally, I think Sayano Uto is slightly overrated, right? But the point aside,
Damn,
I
hot
think
take.
yeah, the point there, there are people who would kill me for saying stuff like that here. But
Yeah.
uh Sayano Uta's value aside, it still doesn't disguise the fact that Nitro Plus's track record, if you actually look at their visual novel lineup, is 50-50 at best. They are not very good. Like you think what? You think Drakoi is good? Like you're gonna stare me
Yeah.
at the face and be like, Drakoi was a great visual novel, like it was a masterpiece. But the point being is that we haven't even translated, a lot of the good recent stuff we haven't translated. Something like,
Tsukihime remake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tsukihime. We need to try. We need everybody on that and quick. We haven't translated Asa Project stuff. We haven't translated a lot of Basason stuff. We haven't translated a lot of August Studio stuff. Um, you know, and people are just out here being like, we need Frontline. No, we don't need more of these shitty 2019, 2020, like do read for 30 minutes and then we're done. There's like one heroine, she doesn't do anything, and then we both just run off into the sunset after being in like one dangerous situation. We don't need that anymore. Just stop. So that was my mini rant about visual novels these days, sounding like an extreme boomer, but it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know.
But
It's really stupid. I hate modern visual novel fans these days. But anyways, what were you talking about, Toast?
you want me to talk about the Fiera again? I think
No,
it's on
if
Steam.
you
Let me see.
no, I
It
think I
is.
think I think we'll
It
move
is
on.
on
I think we'll
Steam.
move on.
Nice.
I think we'll
Under
move
new
on.
and popular.
Yeah. Anyways, Dark, what did you do your past 2 weeks?
also kind of
Wait a
been
minute,
just like
isn't this the first actual review of the year?
sure
Yes.
is.
Speaking of that, how are the booster shots?
Oh yeah,
I haven't gotten
that
mine.
is true. I did get mine.
I did get mine, yeah. Got
As
mine
an
a while back.
American who hogs all of the vaccines
Yeah,
themselves.
exactly. I gotta take Mir's booster shot. I just put
Yeah.
it in me just because.
Yeah, so
You love
the
the
boosters
long
been
lines
alright.
for
I
them?
haven't felt any. I might have had COVID at one point and just didn't feel it. That too.
Well, that's because you had your other shots already, right?
Yeah,
Might have had it and never known.
I'm
Yeah,
full vaccine
you're
and boosted.
fucking sterile now, dude.
Yeah, listen, babe.
Your balls
COVID
are gonna
shrunk my
swell up.
penis. Like,
Sweaty, yeah.
haven't you read the articles?
Yeah.
How
Tell us if you get
how are the
COVID, Dick.
how are the
Yeah.
lines? How are the lines for
Yeah,
the
I've actually
booster?
had COVID 18 different times. So, like I was
How are the
saying the other day, like my penis was supposed to be 4 feet long.
Yeah. But now that I've got COVID,
Now that I've had COVID 18 times over, I'm brought down to a human size.
yeah, tragic,
how
really.
are the lines, Dark? Because the lines here are great.
I didn't
No
have
lines at
any
all. Hell
because
yeah.
they kind of figured out how to like actually schedule things now. Which is,
Yeah. Also, mine was empty because I think mainly like obviously like the group of people that want to get it already got it, but it was also like I live in a state where I don't think too many people care about that sort of stuff. Essentially, when I go to my grocery store or whatever, nobody's wearing masks anymore. So it's just like, yeah, all right, I see
Woo-wee!
you guys.
You love how all the produce is always in front. Produce is stacked. Is always put in front of the store. So when you walk in, you see the produce. Think of all the people sneezing on your apples. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was fine. I've also just kind of been grinding in FF. Like, haven't been doing Savage because kind of don't care because they fucking murdered my main job. So no.
Lol.
Yeah, I'm a tank now. So other than that, playing too many mobile games again. Mega Man Cross Dive, Mega Man X Dive, however it's pronounced. Would be nice if the Asian version was on Western Steam for whatever fucking reason. Would be cool to get the version I play Steam
I heard there's some
instead.
cute skins in there.
There are some good skins. There are some really good characters. I would say it's a very fun mobile game, and it's really neat. Just trying to tell how like what would you call it? Like passion essentially behind it is like the devs are actually like they wouldn't be putting together things aren't fans of the IP.
It's insane.
Yeah, so like it's not like a soulless, gotcha. Like very much there are like because like there are so many characters in that game in the they are quote unquote fan favorites, but they're not characters you would like hear about in particular. Like there are now 3 different Leviathan skins from Mega Man Zero. So like
Well, I get it.
yeah, there's regular Leviathan, so she's got that. She has Christmas Leviathan, and then there's New Year. So yeah, there's also a Christmas seal now from Mega Man Zero as well. So there's a lot of really cool shit. They're doing like fucking male personification of Zinogre from Monster Hunter now too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so there's that, and there's also Zero in fucking Valtrox armor
Of
or whatever
course.
his name is. So it's like there's a lot of really cool crossovers. just a lot of fun. It's just a really fun mobile game. And I think it's fair too. Probably one of the most forgiving for like free to play players, I would say. It's like
Okay.
obviously it still has like, you know, cancerous spark system. But it's one of those things where it's
Okay.
like it's very easy to catch up characters. Like doesn't
Does it have Command Mission X? I like Command Mission.
it has Command Mission X as a skin for regular X. And then it has Ultimate Armor Command Mission X
Oh,
as like an
that thing looks
SSR, and it
that
is
thing looks
nasty.
dumb. He's got like a
It is
giant UFO on his
disgusting.
head.
Yeah, he has a fucking UFO on his back and miniguns on his arms.
I hated using it, but I still like that game.
Yeah, I mean, he was also very strong. Oh yeah, that's true too, because they also have Absolute Zero, which is
That one, yeah,
Zero,
the Bat one. That's
Zero
cool.
with the bat wings, which you know is basically like Zero combined with Forte, as some might know it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so in general, that game is just a very, very fun mobile game. Very cool.
Okay.
Other than that, been
Big
playing again. That game's fun. WoW is fucking dead still.
Wow.
Gee, I wonder
Play
why.
that one.
No way, dude. No way.
Yeah, if Phil Spencer might come in and save us now.
Yeah,
so.
bro.
Phil Spencer is gonna fucking, you know, I would say walk through the door, but you know they need to increase the
Yeah,
width
they
of
need
the
to renovate
frame.
to do that.
They need to renovate to let Phil in, because especially after this acquisition, he now like fucking 8 wide, I assume. But yeah, so you know, play any other MMO. You know, look forward to Lost Ark. Look forward to that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Have you guys done the what is it? Let me find the thing. The machine translated Korean test to see what class you're gonna be?
No.
I
Here,
have not touched Lost Ark
Your
other
connection to
than
the site is not secure. Oh, okay, no thanks.
yeah. I've done.
Well, that's how it's gonna be for like
There you go.
half of Korea sites.
There you go. I'll link it to you. Here.
I've done none of that. No, like I am very interested in the game. It's like $15 anyway, so it's like whatever, you know?
Isn't that game's like isometric, right? How does it like control? Like
I think it's like isometric, but I'm fairly certain it's designed like an MMO where
right.
it's not based on like ARPG where you get a couple of skills and you just spam them like that.
It's like Diablo.
Yeah, but it's
Pretty
more
much.
like a full feature like MMO experience. Like Path of Exile type shit, but even more like MMO based.
Oh, okay.
What is interesting, and I'll end this quickly after this part, but they had like a 7-hour essentially like fan fest where the director went on stage. Basically admitted that they fucked up and they put too many hardcore things into the game, and now they announced like a ton of very casual side content, like exploration stuff and everything. So I thought that was pretty cool too. That they announced more like expansive content instead of like here's like another tier of like high scaled content for you.
Yeah.
I think that's neat. Hopefully the Western one isn't pay to win because the Russian one kind of is.
Mhm.
But rumor has it that this one is not going.
I bet you I'm going to be cautiously suspect. Sus.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I mean, I'm
sus
cautiously
the
optimistic,
translation.
but I think the good thing is that it is, and this is very weird to say. done by Amazon kind of means that they probably know that they shouldn't do that because, like, they basically avoided all of that with that game called fucking
What, New
released.
World?
Yeah, New World.
I mean, New World
Managed to.
has its own set of issues, but
Yeah, but pay to win is not one of them things.
yeah.
I don't think Amazon's like studios or Amazon is like really about to jump in and it's time to fucking make like actual Korean MMO. But yeah, that's long as that's been my
Okay, so that's pretty good. And I guess with that, we should probably quickly move on to the reviews. We do have a lot of stuff coming down the pipe, so we do want to run through them real quickly. Or I guess or I want to run through the sections afterwards real quickly. So let's just get on with it. Starting off with Dark. What do you have for us this time?
I have a show called Slow Loop.
Yes. Slow Loop.
And
Which studio is it?
this is Studio Connect.
Oh, Connect. Okay.
So they did Death March, they've Strike the Blood.
Strike the Blood. Yeah, okay.
They did the
Yeah.
fucking
I see where we're going
irregular
with this.
Magic High like
Maho Koko.
spinoff.
Wait, were they the main people behind it,
No, they
or
did the
were they? Okay.
spinoff. They were
Oh, they did the
the
spinoff. Okay,
spinoff.
okay.
They did not
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
the original. They did. I guess more notable is probably Senryu Shoujo,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see where. Okay. I see where.
Ski, and yeah, pretty much
Okay.
Strike the Blood appears to be big. They're big
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
We're on Strike the Blood part fucking 87.
Okay.
Dude, they gotta sell more figures, bro.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. There's Strike the Blood final. Also, on a
For
side
some
note,
reason, Strike the Blood is actually pretty popular for
I
some reason.
don't.
Like it keeps
I
getting
don't.
like sequels and like movies and shit. I'm like, what's going on?
yeah, because
Like,
harem and vampire, just like me, I'm a
and the blue
vampire.
and the white hair girl with the blue eyes or whatever, and the
Yeah, and
vampire
I'm a
guy like keeps
vampire.
getting
Yeah,
paused.
I'm a vampire who gets pussy, so I
Do you,
can.
do you think do you think the only because what I was thinking was when I was watching this, I was like, this is just a either a more vanilla or less vanilla. I don't even know whether it's more or less intense than like Campione. Do you guys remember that series, Campione? One of you guys have to remember that series, right?
Yeah.
Campione was Dean, right? Was it Diomedia or Dean?
Um,
Was it Diomedia? I think it was Diomedia. I
it
think I
might have
said
been. I mean, that was around the time where Dean was kind of popping off, right? So
because I remember I kept
Campione was
commenting on
Diomedia.
how the anime had a
Okay.
super thin face. You know what I mean? Like it had
Wow,
like
you
super.
can't say that, Spire.
It was like high to the Gotoku level of like thin faces.
Yeah.
And was it? It was Diomedia, yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the thin faces, I thought it was Dean. Because you like in that era and maybe a little bit after, Dean kept making like super thin faces, right? But Diomedia made this actually. It wasn't Dean, but I kept thinking like this is just like a more vanilla Campione. But how come Campione just got this and then just fucked up right off? And then like, what is it? Strike the Blood kept getting all this shit. I'm like, is it because like the dude is
It's.
also a
I
vampire and he
mean,
gets like
it's
more white hair
because
girls?
the main fucking female lead is a fucking girl in a really short like school
Oh yeah,
outfit, and
schoolgirl
she has a
outfit.
fucking spear. Like that's basically it.
I
Bro.
thought it was the white hair girls because there are like
Simple
5 million of
as.
them, right? There's like a bunch of white hair girls with like the blue eyes or
Yeah,
whatever,
I think
right? Like
so. But
is it,
like the main girl is the one with the spear.
you're right.
She's the one that gets all the
And
figures.
there's also like a childhood like Gato girl or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck. No, yeah.
I
So they
mean,
hit the
I don't know.
fetishes pretty properly in the
I think
harem.
yeah, I think this is popular for the same reason that like Yakuya Ryoran was popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like the fetishes are very well hit in that one, whereas I guess Campione was pretty standard, right? It was like
Yeah.
the yellow like transfer student, like tsundere ojo-sama, and then or she wasn't even tsundere, right? She was clingy, and then it was like the kudere white hair girl, and then the childhood like Miko, right? That
Yeah.
was how it was. But yeah, it was when the fetishes align, it's pretty good. It's like how Hidano Aria also had the fetishes pretty well in tune. It's like you just get the kugirie like tsundere in, get the garu in, get the kudere in, get the they had the yandere, right? Yandere as well, and Hidano Aria. But anyways, me again
Yeah. Slow
being
loop.
a yeah, sorry, back to
Yeah, anyway,
solo.
enough of that
I
gay
apologize for the
shit.
strike in the blood. Yeah, I apologize for Spencer.
So yeah, Slow Loop by Studio Connect.
Uh-huh.
So far, the three like sort of main barely well, so one of them is brand new. Main character is brand. Yeah, other characters are slightly like not new, but they don't have a ton of.
Yeah, there's one person who's like complete new. He's talking about voice actors, by the way. So
Yeah, as
you,
far as voice actors go.
yeah,
Yeah, they're
yeah,
new
yeah,
characters
yeah,
entirely. Even
yeah.
imagine that.
But most of them aren't like, yeah. And again, this is part of the charm of the usual winter season. Again, I think this is we were a little bit hesitant, we were a little bit iffy on this upcoming winter season, but in terms of like the general charm of winter season, because studios are usually trying out new things and there's like a lot more diversity in series, and they usually tend to bring in a lot of newer faces and new blood. So this is one of the charms of what at least we look forward to during the winter season. But yeah, sorry, go on.
So yeah, so that that's been nice to hear some new people. Maybe they, but so anyway, the show itself is about a main character is a young girl whose father has passed
Uh-huh.
and she likes fly fishing. Specifically fly fishing. All her dad did and all he taught her how to do.
Do
Right.
they fish with flies? What is fly fishing?
So, from my understanding, fly fishing uses a different rod, and it uses a very thick line to cast, and a very light, what do you call those, bobber or whatever?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like very light bait. So when you're casting, you have to like, or like do feign casts and then, or like flick your wrist at the end lightly to try and like cast further.
Yeah. A lot of like the heavier fishing thing is more just like if you're doing it on like large bodies of water where it's like things like the water isn't super flowing all the time. So you're kind of like going deep and you're just kind of trying to catch like I guess almost larger fish that like you kind of need to hook in. So you're usually using heavier rods and tougher stuff. Whereas fly fishing is more just like smaller like lakes and rivers, and a lot of them usually do have flow, some sort of flow. So you're kind of like trying to catch like smaller fish, and you're trying to like how do I say this? It's like you're trying to mimic the small like bait that the smaller fish feed on. So
So, yeah, so ends up with sort of that. This character is not very open to many people, and then she meets a very like Genki, bombastic girl
mhm.
who sort of like enamored with fly fishing just because it seems more unusual fishing, but she typical shit you'd expect. But coincidentally, the main character reveals that she's going to meet her new stepdad and stepsister, um,
Mhm.
which so happens to be docks or like at the pier.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, so you have somebody Minagi and Haru Minagi.
Yeah, the two voice actresses. Sorry, not the voice actresses.
Yeah,
The two main
the two
characters.
like
Yeah,
main characters,
yeah.
stepsisters now. And it kind of gets into not as like not as much as I would have, I guess, liked. Well, actually, no, I can't even really say as I would have liked. It does in general get into both like fish trivia and also like some of the expect from like step
Stepsisters.
family scenario.
Right, because the from what I'm getting, right, and I watched the first episode. Actually, I read a little bit of the manga as well, like way before I even knew the anime was being released. I don't know how I came across it, but I did. But I believe the four balls, right, in the sense that they had to juggle is they had to juggle the fishing trivia, right? They had to juggle the cast, especially the whole like sort of relation. I mean, this is the second part is sort of like a bonus, but they kind of said, okay, well, we're gonna deal with it. So they had to deal with it, right? The balls, they had to juggle the ball now since they brought it along. Third part is they have to include in like the lighter sort of comedy shtick, right? The slice of life comedy kind of tone, right? And then the fourth is they have to include the slower, like relaxation, kind of like watching the background. Oh, this is the joy of fishing, blah, blah, blah. That sort of like relaxing release kind of atmospheric tone. So they have those four balls to juggle in a sense, right? So do you know what's the balance like between those four factors?
I would say it's almost. I would say it probably leans a little bit more into the. I don't know. It's hard to say. I would say it's probably dead even at this rate.
Okay.
Just
I mean, that's
because.
not necessarily a bad thing. I
No, I
just
mean it's
wanted to know.
not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because nothing really overstays its welcome. Because
Hmm.
also it might be considered the fishing, right? Might be able to say it leans a little bit more heavy into the fishing trivia at times because it also includes like cooking, like preparing fish. Because while the Hiyori fly fishes and is really good at fishing, not a very good cook.
Right.
But
Right.
her stepsister now, Koharu, pretty much like throw together anything as like a decent meal. So that sort of like blends the two and mixes them. So you do get like, what you would expect, like prepping fish, but then you also get different types of meals you can make with that sort of like fish, whether it be a light fish, stuff like that, or
Yeah,
like a white fish.
I've also noticed like recently with not even with it's weird. It's like there are cooking series or like stuff like Restaurant to Another World or stuff like that where like like izakaya, like a bunch of izakaya manga where people do like bar hopping and stuff like that where people where in the manga people show off these dishes, right? I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. But I've felt like recently with a lot of these sort of camping and slower slice of life series that don't really have that much to do with cooking, but then kind of suddenly lean into like cooking fish or whatever during the camping experience. They put in a lot of detail that even like cooking series don't put in. You know what I mean? I've
Yeah.
noticed that. Yeah, it's like, oh, that's nice, but I felt like this. There's more. You guys are including more detail than in an actual cooking series.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah.
like, it does get very strange with, with
Do
that.
you,
Yeah.
Spire, do you think people who make cooking manga can actually cook? Remember what happened to Shokugeki no Soma? They
Well,
had they had a food chef analysis person for a while, but then when they quit or when she went on maternal leave, everything went to shit. Don't you remember that?
wait, they had a wait.
They
Why
had
did
an
what I
actual.
don't understand? Yeah, no, I get that, but it's like, why didn't the author? Why didn't the artist call people up for fucking research? Like, isn't that what
They
people
had
do?
they
Like, they
had they
call people
had
up.
they had a professional person do it, so why do that? But then once they got into the last
You're right,
two
exactly. Yeah.
arcs, Like
By
the
that
blue
time, it
arc
was
where
just
they were
like
devin like against the final boss. The food like description, it just went out the window. It sucked. It was obvious.
yeah.
Just
But
make it up as it go. It's not real food anymore.
yeah, but yeah, a lot of things have been getting,
I don't know if many
especially
of
in
the
stuff like.
dishes in Shokugeki no Sama could be called real.
Well, if you had a chef do it, then I guess it's real. When you make it
I
up after
guess,
that,
but it's also
well,
like
well, the amount of value, not value, but it's like the amount of like, is this like a TikTok food or is this like actual something that you might enjoy eating
yeah, you might
properly?
want to
Is like
eat. Yeah, Shokugeki no Sama was like the equivalent of fucking like,
Instagram
hey, here's
food.
a no-bake souffle fucking like TikTok recipe. Where you're
Yeah.
like, this doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Here's my no-bake baked Alaska recipe. It takes 5 minutes. Like,
No,
I
no
don't
butter pound cake.
trust that at all. Like, I don't. I think that'll make me fucking no.
No sugar cookie. All right. But yeah,
Yeah,
anyways, keep going, Dark.
you know
yeah.
what they
So
call a no. You know what they call a no bake brownie? Prison food. I've seen that. I've seen that dude on TikTok who says
Must
bussin' all the time and makes prison food. It's fun to watch.
it's
gotta
like
make that
fucking.
chocolate hardtack.
It's like fucking. Yeah, like toilet wine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Our new hit TikTok craze.
Or it's like the 50th variation of the microwave mud cake thing. But again,
Yeah,
They don't have
eh,
microwaves in prison. You have to make it in your cell.
well, I meant like in
You
terms
want
of
a
the
microwave
yeah.
basic
As
something?
far as
things.
like
Hot
ghetto
water and
home
leave it.
food.
Yeah. Everybody always makes mud cakes. But
Yeah.
anyways, this is neither here
Meanwhile,
nor
it's like you can just
there.
buy a fucking microwavable brownie cup. Like, just go do that. Yeah. So overall, like the series kind of has a pretty even split between all of those things.
Okay, that's good.
The slice of life comedy isn't like. I mean, it's what you would expect. I think where the series starts to shine, obviously, is the trivia is much more in depth than I would have expected.
What's it? What's the trivia level? Is it like Eurocamp level or what?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
say
good then.
so. So it's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like
definitely
when I
better
read the
than
manga and
most. Like,
found out stuff like for that trivia, not only the fishing trivia, but also like the fish cooking trivia, I was like, oh wow, like, I didn't expect this.
yeah. So there is a lot of trivia with that. I think some of the comedy stuff is fine. I do think the other stronger aspect is the sort of like step family trivia stuff and like introspection from the characters. A lot
Hmm.
more of that than I would have expected, and that kind of sets itself apart from a lot of other stuff
Right.
because it's not very dramatic what it does. It
What
is
do you mean?
very much it's not overly dramatic. It is very natural in a lot of ways with how it tackles it, how it tackles characters'
Oh, it's like
responses and
sensible. It's
reactions.
sensible. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like they're not, no
It's like,
one's
what?
like
You're
fucking
not my
losing
real
their
sis.
minds.
Yeah,
Yeah, like you're
yeah,
not my real dad.
yeah.
To which the
And run away home. Yeah, run
stepdad
away
and
from home.
stepsister go, "You're correct."
You know that one thing
Right,
where
it's
it's like
not your real dad, and we
there's
don't
yeah.
expect you to accept that. Day one.
You know how there's always that one scene in like super melodramatic series where when they have those sorts of scenes, it's like, oh, it's like it's like you're not my real dad. It's like, why are you even doing this? Blah blah blah. And it's like the kid runs off, or like somebody runs off. They're always at like the playground, or like you know that little like hut that the kids like always hide in. They're always in that like little like igloo kind of hut thing, right? The play, you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about, right? The circular like igloo kind of looking thing.
yeah,
They're always on that, or like on the bench or on the swing. They're like, well, he's not my real dad,
not my
blah blah blah.
real dad.
Yeah, and they all have to like run to the play. Like one guy had the main character has to run to the playground and like find her or whatever. It's really stupid. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
So there's been stuff with that which I think was fine. There was a lot of introspection so far with that stuff. There's sort of more natural things of like the girls getting along, and basically wanting, like fishing as sort of an extension of try and adjust more, and to try to like break the ice essentially between both like
Right.
families coming together.
Hmm.
I thought that part was really good. And yeah, I just think those two between like the trivia and that are kind of like the two things carrying the series. I don't think the comedy is really,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
stellar. Like,
the
it's
comedy,
fine. Like,
the
it's
comedy
fine.
is extremely suited to like it's like these days a lot of the comedy is it's not even like Yuri Yuri where they're like really kind of trying for the comedy. These days it's more like, how do I say this? It's the whole just like gentle like, huh, oh yeah, they're going for this joke, but it's more because they want to show off the fact that their cute girl is doing cute stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an enhancer of the fact that they're cute girls doing cute stuff. With X theme, rather than really aiming for the joke, like again, like a Yuri Yuri or like maybe like a Danshi Kokusei no Nichiyo would really try to aim.
Yeah. It's just like nothing really to write home about comedy wise, but
Yeah.
it gets a job done. It branches things well enough. It sort of like it serves its purpose as like sort of a
It doesn't
cleanser
perturb you.
between and
It doesn't go like, I don't. It doesn't make you uncomfortable. That's the big thing.
and to
That's
like
important.
lighten up more moments that
Right.
are heavier
Right.
or like were dramatic, stuff like that. But yeah, overall audio visuals are pretty at parts. I think they're sort of it's strange. I think some of their more like their breakdowns of during trivia, I think are okay, better, but I mean it's definitely better than nothing and better than some. Sort of like the style changes and yeah, just the style change for when they're breaking down trivia, I think is
Right.
has been pretty good. That said, you know, nothing's gonna be like fucking Hyoka's fucking investigation segments or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
you want to
Yeah. I
do.
mean, it's a
Like,
little bit.
it
That's a
it
little bit of
ain't
high standard
that,
these days.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
A little.
like,
Yeah. We can't be walking into like, what is it, any like some random B tier Tiki level, like let's say like Mecha Girl. That's like Mecha Girls series, and it's like, why isn't this like Symphogear? Like that's
yeah, I
like
don't
that sort of
understand.
thing. You know what I mean? Like, why isn't this like Evangelion? Like this is the wrong level to be doing here
I literally ask myself that question every day.
every day.
Yeah,
Yeah, why isn't this Evangelion?
every anime I put on, I go, why isn't this Evangelion? What?
Basically,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't get it.
why am I even
Why don't
bothering
you
with this?
like just confused? Like, why don't you just make it like that though?
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Anyway,
so good series overall. Better than expected. I would say its start is deceptive.
mhm.
Because I watched like the first half of the first episode and I was like, this seems kind of throwaway. And then, I kept watching and I was like, oh, okay, no, like there is more, definitely more to this series than I initially thought. It was a nice surprise. I thought it was going to be more of just like exactly what you'd expect, easy watch, but really not much substance to it. But I think with a lot of the family stuff and just the depth,
Right.
decent, decent enough, reason to watch other than just like wanting to see cute girls shit. Wins in my book.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess pretty good. Any last words on the series?
Yeah. While I don't think there's gonna be a runaway to a fucking playground thing, it should happen just for the sake of it, just to have it in there. They should try and squeeze one in there. It's gonna be hard because they're both in high school, so
I forget if
gonna be a little difficult.
near did yesterday utate utate is did that one have a playground scene? That had to have a playground scene, right?
I
My
don't
memory
know.
is bad,
I don't know
but
if it was a playground, but I'm almost certain it had the classic like sitting on the swing scene.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Yeah, I'm
you
in
can
the
just
part.
smell it. You can
Yeah.
smell it, like depending on the series. It's like that fuck, that thing where it's like they had like the two cousins or whatever, and like the dude had to like choose between one of them or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that definitely had like a couple of them. Not even just one scene. They had like a couple of
Yeah.
those scenes. But yeah. Anyways,
Several
thank you.
fucking what was it?
Gotta
Kokoro
up the
Connect
drama,
had
bro.
like Kokoro Connect had like fucking 4 of those as well.
God.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, thank you very much, Dark, for covering Slow Loop. Again, this is a sort of girls go on, do cute fly fishing stuff, do cute girl stuff. Done by Studio Connect. A lot of new blood, voice actresses, pretty good. Audio visuals seem pretty decent, and you know it has a lot more trivia than what you might expect from this sort of series. So please do check it out. And next on the list is Toast. What do you have for us?
You like girls, right?
I guess. Yes, sure.
Why? Spire, there's nothing wrong with liking girls. What?
Spire
I,
hates women actually.
Yeah.
Oh well, then we got the show for you.
all right, yeah. Spire, since you hate girls so much, how about boys? You like boys?
I mean, I
Loves them.
don't. Yeah, I just stare at boys all day. That's just how it is. Uh,
Do you even have any boyfriends, Spire?
Yeah.
What the? Yeah.
Yeah. If you like boys
They
so
just
much,
hang out.
name all your boyfriends.
Are we not your boyfriends, Spire? Are we not friends? Wow, look
Yeah,
at this
you guys
guy.
are all my boy friends.
Where am I going this? Oh yeah. What did I watch? I watched Futsal Boys. Why?
Yep.
Because I needed something to get out of the way since it's only 2 episodes.
Okay.
And yeah, it's not good.
And then he sure
Okay.
got it out of the way.
Yeah, so I needed something to get out of the way, and I was like, oh, this looks like it'll suck, and it did. Who made it? It's Ben got what is it? Bandai Visual? Is that them? Yeah, that's them.
What else have they done?
It's all but the studio is Dio Media. But
Dio
like
Media.
the first thing I see is Bandai Visual. I'm like, that's cool. Why? I don't know. What am I talking?
Oh, famous for domestic Nakanajo. Oh yeah.
Dio Media, also famous for
So this is a multimedia project, huh?
LA. Well, it's not very good.
Shocking.
Oh, wait. Fuck. The series I was talking about, I think, the one that I was talking about, like the cousins or whatever, right? I think that one was the one I was talking about. Maybe it wasn't cousins. It was fucking no, it was no. Wait, no, they're sisters, right? Because it's domestic girlfriend. Because it's like the both the younger girl and the older girl end up being like the step sisters or whatever the fuck, right?
I don't remember how that series worked.
I don't know, dude. I don't watch
Bad.
fucking disgusting series like that. So
If I remember correctly, that also had like a super drawn out fucking whatever it was. I actually didn't end up finishing the manga, but it was pretty. I heard the ending was not great. Anyways, sorry. Keep going, Toast. Talk about the football gays. I mean,
I don't
boys.
know, man. What? So the main character's names, right? What's his name? Yamato Haru. Apparently, he lived
Yes.
in America and he learned breakdancing from them.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good start. Yes.
I mean, his first shot is him doing like breakdancing underneath a bridge in a hoodie. So I guess he's ashamed of himself or whatever.
What?
what?
Okay.
The way you said
What is
that,
that?
I just
Yeah,
imagined
he
him
doesn't want to be seen
break
breakdancing.
dancing with like a serious and like sullen expression.
Oh,
I mean,
this is a
that's what he
Geo
was.
Media series.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is the only. But yeah,
Wait, he was
he's
like break dancing under a bridge while like frowning?
in a full black
Focus. He was
hoodie,
focused. He wasn't
Holy
frowning.
but
shit.
no one can see
Okay,
his
this
face, and I'm like,
series
what the fuck is this?
this series rocks, first of all. To open on something that.
But yeah, he's not broody and serious. He has red hair and red eyes.
Wait, is
Oh,
this a mobile game? This is a mobile game, right? If I
is it?
remember
I don't
correctly.
know.
It's a multimedia project, yes.
Yeah, okay, it's a multimedia project because there's a lot of new. Well, I mean, I guess mobile game usually have bigger names, but it's like there's a lot of names here that I haven't heard before. There's a lot of new blood, especially
Futsal
for
Boys.
a mobile game. Where usually with like mobile game these days, they just kind of hire a
They
lot of like
lean in on the
they're like Hayami Sho or like Nobunaga or like fucking
Yeah, every character was
Junichi
voiced by
Sabe.
Kano Ai, but at the
Yeah,
last second
everybody.
they
Yeah, exactly.
had to make a couple of changes,
Yeah,
couple little
China wasn't too happy
adjustments.
about that. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, he's breakdancing under a bridge, and then he's like, "Oh, I don't like futsal. That's stupid." But then he sees some sort of champ, like I think it's the under 18 like World Cup League of futsal, whatever. And he sees some dude doing his special kick, and he's like, "Oh, I want to do that too." So then he learns to play futsal, I guess.
Okay.
Sure. I don't know. You guys know what futsal is, right?
It's. I think we discussed it during the preview. It's just like a smaller, like
It's
indoor-ish
It's
football.
indoor
Yeah.
football, which is known as soccer, but I'm gonna call it football. And how many players is it? 5. So it's like mini soccer, but inside. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he, he's a transfer student because he came back from America, and he meets this blue-haired dude who's like a former futsal prodigy, sure, but he's got blue hair in contrast with the main character's red, so
Wow.
he's the cool dude. Apparently, his problem was that he plays futsal solo. He's because all of the rest of his team was weak, so they get into a clash because I don't know. I guess some rival
Think
school.
you're better than us?
Yes, but yeah, those two of them get into a fight with like a rival futsal league school who are like beating up on some small children.
What the fuck? Wait, where is this? Okay.
Okay, so they're like, no, this rival school's like, you little kids suck. Like, well, this is our futsal turf now, and then they're like, oh, we got here first. And they're like, shut up, we'll kick you. And then the dudes are like,
They dunk on 5-year-olds.
pretty much.
Easy.
They're like elementary school kids, and they're like, oh, we'll play you for their honor. And I'm like, oh, this is stupid.
What
I
the
should
fuck?
mention that every character in this series so far are boys, so it's like high school students beating up on elementary school boys just
Okay.
to play futsal or whatever. And that's like episode 1. Who cares? Episode 2, they join a futsal club, and some other boys show up. Very much. That's it. And then, oh yeah, they're joining the Fresh Cup, where they fight other
The
handsome
Fresh
boys.
Cup? Did I hear that right? The Fresh Cup?
I guess it's some sort of inter school Championship League. It's the usual sports thing where you
Okay.
join a tournament.
No, I
whatever.
was just wondering about the name. I wasn't wondering about whether it was part of the tournament or
I don't
part of
know. I guess it's for pretty boys because every person in this shows are pretty boy. I haven't
That's
seen a
how it has
single.
to be.
I haven't
I
seen
mean,
a
it's a
single
multimedia project, so
like girl in this series except for two random like schoolgirls who are talking for like 5 seconds, but their faces are never shown, so they're obviously not main characters. Everyone else are dudes. But yeah,
That's how they got to appeal, bro. Come on.
and then the other characters, some short white-haired boy. He's short. I guess he's your Shota character. Sure. That's another member of the futsal team. And then you got the team, the futsal team leader. Got green hair. Yeah, he's got green hair, and he's a former prodigy of the under-18 league. And like so far, the whole story is that the main character got into futsal because he saw some dude doing some super cool kick, a named attack, because apparently this show has named skills.
Okay.
Just because if it's a sports manga, you have to have a cool name technique. But yeah, so you see some dude is like, oh, I want to be just like that guy, but here's the kicker: his his new team leader was on the same team as that guy he admired, and guess what? Their first match is against another former team member of that same guy. So like in you guys know Kuroko no Basket, right? A little bit. There was
Yes.
what do they call them? The generation of miracles, where you got the professional players and whatnot.
Yes.
So yeah, in this show they're called the Golden Triangle. So you got former professional futsal players going up against not so professional, the new blood, I guess. Kinda sounds like a Prince of Tennis as well. I
I
don't even know.
mean, to
I
be
don't
White
fair,
even
I
know.
wouldn't be surprised if it's a
Triangle.
mix of like everything.
It's all a
Like,
bunch of sports cliches. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, why fix a Fujoshi machine that's not broken, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's no point.
The problem is
Something.
that this show's really boring. It's really, really
Shocking.
boring. It's like I didn't learn like compared to I don't know Burning Comedy. At least in Burning Comedy, there were a bunch of places where you got to learn about comedy and like the rules.
Mhm.
So they were in depth about the description, so you could learn about the sport while watching it. This one, I guess it assumes that you know a lot about futsal because they're like, oh, here's the man, do I have to look this up again? Yeah, it's like, oh, here's futsal, and then they call it like here are the like the positions. They don't even give them. They don't even Okay, here I had to Google this, so excuse me. So it's like, okay, so you got you got the positions, right? Here's
Mm.
It's like, hey, dude, you get to be the ala, or you get to be the fixo, or the pivot. And I'm like, what does that mean? Or it's like, what does that mean? They're like, okay, there you go. They only showed one scene. We're like, hey, main character, you just started futsal, so you don't know anything, right? And it's like, yes, please teach me. And you're kind of expecting like, okay, here's the anime. I hope you could teach the viewer about futsal too. It's like, no. It's like here, they just shove a bunch of books into him. He's like, here, read up. And then like 3 seconds later, it's a cut to him like, oh, my eyes are spinning, but I've learned the rules of futsal. And I'm like, well, what about me? What if
It
I
never
want to learn
tells the
futsal?
viewer.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
time to read a fucking book, viewer.
and I'm like, so I don't know anything about futsal. This is the same problem I had with other like card game shows like Vanguard or the other one like Code Black something. I don't even remember. I don't remember because I still don't know how to play the game. So it's like it's the same problem I had with that. So that turned me off a lot. I had to go look it up, and I'm not gonna bother explaining that. What else? So yeah, that's the main problem I have with the series. If you're not gonna like keep me interested in the sport, then why should I even watch it? In other good
Uh,
sports series, they at least explain the rules so you can understand what's happening. But this one, I didn't learn anything about futsal. I assume that's because futsal's popular in Japan. No one is it popular here in the West? Not really. I don't know anyone that plays futsal. Just play soccer. But
I don't
yeah,
know if
what
it's
else?
even really fair to say it's popular in Japan.
I mean, I googled it. Is futsal popular in Japan? Apparently, it is. So that explains why they got this. What else? For 2 episodes, they only got in like two or three named attacks, and they're kind of you know how you got special techniques and other stuff. It's okay. It's whatever. It's not Inazuma 11. It's like all over the top kind of stuff. So
Well, that's part of the value of seeing these series, though, the over the
yeah,
top stuff.
I don't get this.
Isn't
It's like what is it? What is this stupid attack name called? Uh, uh, Storm of Horizon. I didn't I didn't even see a tornado pop up. It's just a bunch of wind effects on the ball. Then it goes in, and I'm like, okay,
it?
it's like whatever, man. And then the main character, he does his he does a break dance on his hands. And then
Okay.
what's his technique
Is
called?
that legal?
Yeah, because you only have to touch the ball with your feet, right? He's touching the ground with his hands, so
I don't know. Can you do like a fucking like dance like?
like a handstand
Is this
spinning kick.
this is
Yeah.
turning
I'm
into
like,
like a
I
Skate the
guess.
Infinity episode? Like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, what are you talking about here?
I mean, it's legal. It could be legal, isn't it? I mean,
Are they doing like parkour during the during the futsal session? What's happening?
no, it's
I don't know.
just like
I feel like in a football match, you can't just start doing like fucking flips and shit. Am I
why
wrong
not?
about that? Like, I know there's bicycle kicks, but I don't think you can do like a full-on fucking just yeah, any
I
of
mean,
that.
like in every shot, it's where they kick the ball super high in the air and then they jump and then they do the flip kick down towards the goal. I'm like,
They're just
okay,
like constantly bicycle kicking.
yeah. I mean, that's what Storm of Horizon is, and then some other dragon shot or whatever. And then hit the main character is like Rising 90, except he's like he kicks the balls in the air. He's doing his handstand and he's spinning, and then like he kicks the ball from that position. And I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I need to see a tally of how many times in football like anyone's successfully done a fucking bicycle kick.
I
I
mean,
think there was a recent one that was extremely successful and insane. Then like yeah, I feel like that's like international news. Someone actually pulls that off.
but yeah, they're kind of lackluster. I'm really disappointed because Inazuma 11, that's some good shit. Prince of Tennis, that's good stuff. I mean, even what Kuroko no Basket had that. So if you're going to have like cool special techniques that gotta look cool, then these don't look that cool. Like I don't see the net exploding after they kick the ball in, and I'm like, I'm not interested. What else? I mean, it's the media, so I get they look fine. I don't have any problems with the animation style at all. They're pretty boys. They look like pretty boys. What else? Sound? I don't care. It's nothing to write home about. Stupid. Um, Voice actors? I don't know who any of them are. I guess they're new because this is a multimedia project. So they're like, we're gonna bring in the new blood. I don't know who any of these guys are. What else? No, that's about it. Yeah, the show's kind of boring. It's if you're going to do a sports series, you have to either be completely you have to be complete. You gotta be completely bonkers and go all in on your nuttiness, like Keijo. Keijo is awesome. Or you gotta be super serious and have it be about the struggle and development of your characters and what the sport means to them, and be grounded and down to earth. This show's neither. It's trying to be it's trying to be both, but it's not succeeding in either way. So it doesn't know. I don't know where it's going with this. So yeah, I would I recommend watching this show? Not really. It's 2 episodes in though, so it could get better. I don't know. I won't. If I mean, I want to see if maybe the techniques look cooler, and I guess it could be.
You mean, what do you mean by technique? Do you mean like animation or like?
Their name techniques. Like I want to see dinosaurs in tennis or whatnot. Was that one thing where
It was like Prince of Tennis, wasn't it? Like
yeah,
they fucking did the like
tennis killed the dinosaurs? That kind of
yeah,
thing. Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
want to see
that killed
stuff
the
like that.
dinosaurs.
So if the like the techniques kick it up a notch, then this show could be good. But right now, I don't recommend anyone watching it because apparently there's a show later on this same year that's also similar but better apparently, called Blue Lock, where it's Japanese FIFA, so it's real soccer this time, not fake soccer like this is, and it's about Japan's Olympic FIFA team training. So in a way, that's even more like Prince of Tennis, and Prince of Tennis was pretty good. So yeah, what am I gonna rate the series? Don't watch it. Wait for Blue Lock. 5 out of 10.
Okay. All right. I was half expecting you to give it like your usual like 7.5 or 8 out of 10, like like it's whatever, and then you
mean,
just
True
give it
yeah,
noob.
and I just want to watch Lead Dial episode 3. Apparently, it just came out. So
Okay.
whatever,
I
man.
can get behind that. Yeah.
For a multimedia project, this does not bode
Well, I
well.
mean,
If
for
all
a multimedia project, how many multimedia projects have really been that?
Azure Lane,
Well,
yeah, Idolmaster.
even the Idolmaster, like anime wise, it's like Idolmaster sometimes like it's had its share of problems, right? So,
But yeah, I'm maybe because I'm a dude and I prefer girls. But
you think so?
I mean, well, I mean, what other sports series did I enjoy? Keijo. Keijo is fantastic. Ice Shield 21 that we brought up earlier in pre-stream chat.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
Ice Shield 21,
Keijo
fantastic. What is it?
is Keijo even like a sports series at
Yeah,
like some points?
yeah.
It's almost just like it's like it takes the stuff that say like
It's a
Prince of
battle manga.
Tennis took. Yeah, it's almost like a battle series. It's not even like a sports series. I'm not yeah, but yeah. Anyways, uh thank you, Toast, for helping to cover Futsal Boys. When you first said that you were going to cover this, I didn't expect it at all, but I'm glad that you did. I'm
I mean,
glad that you
I do try to do at least one sports series a season.
and
Why?
you had to
I
choose
don't
this one,
know.
yeah. Yeah,
I
because
mean,
no, it's
I
good.
mean,
It's good. It's
what
good.
other sports series was this season? It came out, so I was like, all right, whatever.
Hey
Yeah.
man, technically slow loop fishing is a
Wait,
sport.
is it Ryman's Club or Reman's Club or whatever it is?
The
Isn't
heck
that
is
a
that?
sports series? The thing where the guys in the company form a company team and then they do the competition or whatever, right?
Badminton?
Yeah, the badminton business group or whatever it is.
That's
Isn't that a sports series?
is that out?
I,
Oh. Man, is it also all
oh no,
boys?
no, it's not. It's not gonna be out until the end of the month. So
It's
I
also
guess yeah.
all
Hey,
boys.
Tribe 9 is Tribe 9's technically sport.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'll, sure, I'll check it out. I'll see how it compares. Because why not?
Okay.
What's that one badminton movie? It was a comedy. Was it badminton or was it just tabletop tennis?
I forget.
you're
Oh,
thinking of-
wasn't it ping pong? Ping pong the animation or something like that? Or
Oh.
Oh no, he's talking about like a fucking
What was it? What was
Western
it?
comedy.
Balls of
Oh.
Fury.
Balls of Fury.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know. Maybe like I just kind of want more comedy sports series, because
I understand that, yeah, because
It's
it's
just
like the same formula kind of get.
like I just watched Shaolin Soccer not too long ago, and I was like, oh, this show's awesome, or this movie's
Yeah,
awesome.
you have to lean into the cheese if you're gonna
Yeah,
go like that.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I definitely agree with
yeah. This show sucks. Don't watch it.
you. Oh, all right. Well, again, thank you, Toast, very much for helping to cover uh, Futsal Boys. And with that, we are moving on to, I guess, my series. I covered Kaijin Kaihatsubu no Kuroitsu-san, or Miss Kuroitsu from the Monster Development Department. This is a series by uh, Quad Studios. Quad Studios. This is their first major project. They actually haven't done anything else. So they were a very recently formed studio, I believe, and they bring in a bunch of standard or the main voice actors, Satomi Yamano and Kaori Maeda. I believe they have a couple of roles, but they aren't like. Oh, they're from like the Love Live, like the latest like Love Live generation or whatever. But they've mostly done like supporting roles and stuff like that. This is their first one of their first like main roles or yeah, some of their first main roles recently. Um and yeah, I mean a lot of the audio visuals, the OST isn't that great, but the uh audio, I mean, it's not that bad. Visuals wise, it honestly looks like a series from like the, I want to say, early 2010s ish. It's not necessarily. I mean, the quality is like whatever, but it's like I was talking about a little bit more about the art style. The quality is like
Does
okay
that
enough. It's like passable, but the art style and like the eyes and like everything and the hairstyle, like it's very early 2010s.
why is that bird got a scouter?
So what the story is about is that it's the setting is about having these, um superheroes, and not superheroes, but tokusatsu, right? For those of you who don't know, tokusatsu, it's like Power Rangers, right? In Japan. And villains settings, right? So it's tokusatsu, the Power Ranger heroes fighting against the Sentai Rangers and stuff like that, fighting against the evil organization who has like monsters and supervillains and stuff like that, and they all duke it out against each other for save the world or to destroy the world slash take over the world, whatever. And our heroes slash heroines, our main characters, are part of the research department of the evil organization. And this evil organization research department is about, making new monsters, strengthening the monsters they have already, strengthening the evil like uh power technology to help their bad guys become, to be able to defeat the superhero or defeat the heroes, right? So the setting is like that, but the general theme of it is very much like almost like an office life, daily office life, with obviously again the theme being like you have to research these monsters and that. So it's very much like the recent, what was it, the gods toast. Do you remember the name of it? The gods like thing where they had like heavens.
Gods must be crazy. I love that movie.
No, the heavens something department or something like that, where they had made like the animals or whatever. They were
Heaven's
like
Design
designing.
Team.
Yeah, Heaven's design team. It's kind of reminiscent of that, and obviously reminiscent of Office, Office
The
Life
Amazon, what was it?
series.
African Office?
Yeah,
What is that?
African salaryman, African salaryman, working servant service and stuff like that. But it's a lot of the series recently, and this is along the same lines, they've gotten a lot more detailed. So it's weird where before, and I guess this is not just in the Office Life series, it's similar to what Dark was explaining in Slow Loop, right? Where before, with stuff like K-On, right? Cute girls doing cute stuff, it was just like, oh, we have guitars and we play the music. And it was like very, very green eggs and ham level of cute girls doing cute stuff, right? But with Slow Loop, right? They're talking about like the fly fishing techniques and going over how to cook the fish, and there's all a bunch of details, right? And I feel like it's the same with from the evolution of what we had in stuff like Working, for example, right? Where a lot of it was just the characters and they're like, oh, I'm so busy, or oh, hello, there's a rude customer, or something like that, right? Now, in this one, it's almost full Dilbert mode where they're just like talking about the presentation, or the for instance, like the main character, right, has to give a presentation on the monster she developed with her coworkers and her boss above her and stuff like that, right? In front of the chief of staff.
Spire,
And
let me
yeah,
ask real quick. How long are these episodes?
they're like full episodes, but they're split up into like mini arcs,
Okay, good.
like that.
Because I was
It's
suspicious
not. It's not.
if you
No,
picked
no, no.
another
It's
like
they're
3 minute.
like they're essentially it's similar format as like other Office Life stuff, like Salaryman, like Servant Service. They're like split up into like mini episodes
Okay.
inside the yeah. So for instance, again, she has to give this presentation to the higher ups, right? Like the super like chiefs of staff and like the boss, the evil head of the organization, right? And she has to give a presentation about the evil monster that she developed. But she didn't have time. She slapdashed this, like shitty idea of a an evil monster, and it just ends up being like a Loch Ness monster with like an old man's face on it. And she has to explain how this would be a threat, like how this would be a viable monster to develop, right, in front of everybody else. And the chief of staff is like, you didn't even have any comparative statistics between this monster and like previous generations, let alone any hard like objective data. And like how are you going to compare this objective like with these numbers? You don't even have any numbers to properly compare this to what you had before, blah blah. And I'm like, holy shit, this is like the kind of stuff I hear in like my own office like presentations, and it's like I don't know whether this gives me PTSD or I'm just like laughing. And I don't know. It's very I just love these sorts of Dilbert comic like I've just even before I got into fully working in like white collar sort of industries, right? I've been enamored with this sort of like level of detail, like almost like making the super boring, like really fucked up, like funny sort of way, right? It's like it's so like the fact that everybody's kind of stuck in this like office hellhole, right? And this series, Kuroitsu-san, Miss Kuroitsu, does a really good job of going into the details and being like the detailing like the boss, how they do like interactions with the boss, not missing like, oh shit, I can't miss a deadline or my salary is in trouble, like my pay is gonna be cut. Like, oh, how am I gonna do this presentation? Like, I can't write this report like this. Like, what are you talking about? Like, oh yeah, just stretch the deadline. Like, we can't do that, blah blah. And like going through all this like stuff. Like, if you guys have ever worked a white collar job doing like secretary or like spreadsheets or like having to do the presentations or like doing the deadline stuff, like everything, like this should be really like you guys should be going through the PTSD motions. Yeah, especially as like rewatching Dilbert. Yeah, no, it's like I go back to Dilbert a lot, but
Does anyone Spire? Well, does anyone even know what Dilbert is anymore?
don't say that. Don't say that, Toast. Don't make me feel
I
like
think
that.
what's that new show by the Oni guy?
I forget.
What's it called?
What?
By
Smiling
Zach
friend?
Hadel, Smiling Friends.
Yeah, Spire. Yeah, is it nuts? Is it Smiling Friends? The new one on Adult Swim.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's from
it's not.
Zach Hadel and
Yeah, yeah,
It's not.
Spire.
It's not
Michael
similar to
Cusack.
Dilbert at all. So
What?
I mean, they're
Spire?
in an
No one knows
office
what
and
you're
they have
talking
a
about.
boss.
Yeah, so no one knows what you're talking about. I think you might be thinking of a average is a regular show or those kinds of shows.
God damn it. But anyways, yeah, it just I can't like I don't know. I just love these
Wait,
sorts
Spire,
of
you didn't even mention the Office. You mentioned Dilbert. What's up with that?
the Office is like yeah, I mean the Office is like
Damn, got you
good
there.
too, but it's like a different The Office is like a slightly different style of humor where it's like I mean it's like the
The
similar
Office
theme.
barely involves them ever doing
Yeah,
actual office work. Like,
well, the thing is, it's like it starts like the basic husk of it is like office themed stuff, but a lot of the, especially not so much the UK office, but especially the US office, right? The US version of the office. There are two versions, right? Most uh, no, but the US version of The Office, especially, is dependent upon the specific, like, wonky, like, caricaturistic stereotypes that you find in an office, right? Like the super nerd versus like the random, like, kind of chill dude who's like, kind of like, oh, what are you doing? Or like whatever, versus like the fucked up weird boss or whatever, like making these stereotypes and they're all bouncing off of each other. But it's not this like stuff like Dilbert or like Kuroitsu-san. I mean, Dilbert kind of goes into the character stereotypes as well, but it's like Dilbert, Kuroitsu-san, stuff like that is a lot more of like, and even like Salaryman or like Design Team in a sense is a little bit more just like these things happen in an office, like to reasonable people, right? There are reasonable people who say these sorts of things. There are bosses who fall within this range of like, oh, why didn't you do this? Or like, is that all? Is that what you had for the presentation? Like, why did you do this? And you're fucked. You have to do this. And like that's the thing that they're kind of trying to emphasize, right? And I really enjoyed like watching that. I don't know, it's like cathartic for me. But yeah, there's not really much think other there's not really much else to say other than that. It's like a very like regular mini arc, sort of, not mini arc, but like mini episodes within the bigger episode that it's just like going through these different office events, whether it's and doing the presentation, going out and going on a trip overnight trip with the boss. Essentially, they end up doing nothing except like doing getting like a little bit of reference for their study or research or whatever. Getting a break because of overwork. Going through the motions. Why did you slapdash all this together at the last minute? They have all these things and it kind of cycles through them. But I do just even if it's corny, even if it's cheesy, even if it's just like going through the same like office event stuff, I do like it. I can't help it. I can't help it. I can't resist this sort of theme, this sort of like layout. So if you're like me, if you like watching this sort of like cheesy Dilbert-esque white collar office work parody comedy style, then you should check this out. It's definitely a good romp through. And
Can't believe Spire didn't even mention my favorite Office sitcom, Parks and Rec. I like Parks and Rec better than The
Parks and
Office.
Rec is like
That's
even
my hot
further
take.
away from
Yeah,
this
bro.
What
than The
about
Office.
Brooklyn 99?
yeah, we're
It's not-
slowly getting like further and
It's
further
not
away
even, like-
from actual like career.
That's not even in like a
comedy.
same solar
What
system.
about
It's like
what about Always Sunny? Okay.
oh, so you know nothing exact. What
What?
about Friends? What about Friends, bro?
No one knows
Yeah.
who
Always
Friends
Sunny,
is.
dude. They work at a pub. Like obviously, it's
How
Yeah,
I
obviously.
how I
It's
met
literally
your mother.
literally the same as office work.
How I Met Your Mother. Isn't that also an Office
What
comedy?
about Young Sheldon, guys? Like, bro.
It's
But
true.
anyways,
Bang
Shut up,
Theory.
dude.
What the heck's Young
They show
Sheldon?
them at work at one point.
Oh,
the spin-off of
what the heck? What?
uh,
Oh
No,
anyways.
it's Sheldon when he's
yeah, and this is neither here nor there. But anyways,
What's
yeah,
your
if you
rating of
do,
it?
I do like it. I will empathize. I will understand if people are like not necessarily into like the Dilbert like white collar kind of thing, like humor.
Are you
Like don't
saying we're
understand
not
it.
white
We were
collar,
talking about
Spire?
young Sheldon, but
No. I meant like
Yeah, what would you
his.
rate? What would you rate Young Sheldon?
Yeah, what I rate Young
What's your
Sheldon?
Young Sheldon?
um, I'm
All right, buddy,
not
pull up a
personally
tier
a
list. You you now have to
yeah,
rate
I'm
The
not a
Office,
fan
Parks and
of Big
Rec,
Bang Theory to begin with, so
Young Sheldon.
yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Anyways, this series again, I will totally understand if you're like, I don't really jive with the white collar humor or whatever it is, but
Uh,
if you do
uh,
like that sort of stuff, please do check this out. Again,
Aspire, you
yeah,
went 2 words towards the safe zone.
what do you mean?
If you just said I don't like white,
That's not what I said, but
you can't
anyways.
say that. Dark's right here.
Jesus. Anyways, this is again Kaijin Kaihatsubu no Kuroitsu-san. Again, it's Kuroitsu from the Monster Development Department by Quad Studio. This is a first work. I don't think they've done any other like secondary supporting works or supporting contracted works. So again, please do check this out if you are into this type of humor. Last but not least, we move on to Nier. What do you have for us today?
Um, so I watched Girls Frontline, uh, also known as Dolls Frontline, um, in Japan. Uh, this is a this is a Asahi production.
This is also a
Production.
multimedia project.
Yeah. Girls Frontline, if you don't know, is a mobile game that's been going for quite a while
It's
now.
quite popular, right? I
Yeah,
forget.
it's
Yeah, yeah.
decently popular. It's not like, it's no
It's not
Azure
Azur
Lane.
Lane, but what is? Right?
Yeah.
There's very few games.
Um, but it's
Blue Archive.
yeah. It's decently popular. I believe it is
Arc Knights.
um it's a Chinese game. Um, uh, and basically it's about gun girls. Girls with guns that are like robots. Um, and they go out and they fight other girls with guns that are robots, but they're evil and they're gray. Um, and
Wait,
this
did I
is
forget? I forget if sorry. I'm really
yeah.
sorry for interrupting. I forget if I remember having a talk with Toast about
Upote.
this, or what was there another gun series that we talked about?
Upote.
There wasn't, right? It was just no. Other than Upote, there wasn't a third one. It was just this and Upote, right? Um,
Um,
did we ever talk about whether this had more or less? This is less trivia than Upote, right? Because Upote was pretty much all trivia,
this
right?
is not a trivia series.
Yeah, okay. This is like pretty much just like an action kind of like weird,
This
like
is this is
yeah. This
a
is according to the lore of Girls Frontline, right?
this is like
Yeah.
a military war series,
Mhm.
futuristic like shit. Um, but yeah. So Girls Frontline, the game is basically like you take a gun, uh, you tell an artist to be like, hey, make a girl, uh, design like inspired by this gun, right? And the artist goes, okay, I will draw a girl with a gun, and then they put it up, and it's a gacha game, and you know how this shit goes.
Yeah.
Um, the story is essentially like post World War III Earth. Humanity made like these fucking robots, and the robots, are all girls for some reason. Um, and
Nice.
they go out on the battlefield and they fight the wars. And they can like uh duplicate themselves and shit into squads. Um, and yeah, that's basically the setting. And then
Yeah.
I guess one of like the manufacturers or whatever for these like robot girls, like after the war, defected or some shit, and they were like, "Yeah, we're going rogue, and we're like an enemy to the humanity." And I guess they like self duplicate or some shit. But yeah, they're basically just a big bad. They're gray and they're evil. Um, and the story, in terms of the anime, the story is basically just an adaptation of the early story in the game, but it more closely follows the AR team, which is the main character M4A1, and then you have ST-AR-15, M16, and SOPMod 2. And that's basically the main like AR team. They're like the people that get shit done, and then you have the commander, the Shikikan, right?
Mm.
And this series actually goes an interesting route where they make the commander an actual character, right? Which I feel like a decent amount of these mobile game series don't do. Um, but this one does, and it's a female. Uh, and she's actually a pretty cool character. Um, they make her into like a fresh recruit kind of character, and she's like one of the only commanders that actually seems to have any sort of like fucking empathy for these like robot girls. Um, and then the girls appreciate that and yada yada. There's really not much to talk about in the story. It's a mobile game story, so
Right. Yeah.
it's military shit. Um,
The bigger question is the story good enough? Is sort of my
um,
question.
I mean, it's okay. Like, it's not like you're not really breaking new like boundaries or anything. Uh, and like characters are pretty standard. Like, you know, they're mobile game characters, right? So, um, like if you like military stuff, I guess it's all right. Um, but it's not like super like deep into like military tactics and shit. It's kind of just like, yeah, we've got guns. We're gonna like shoot the enemy, but sometimes we wait so that way we can trap.
we,
Um,
we gotta think about the tactics first, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like
Go on.
okay, sure, you know. Um, but yeah, like the story's okay. Uh, it's very much like it feels like it kind of glosses over some stuff because I haven't played Girls Frontline in quite a while. I did play the game, um, but I do remember like the story in the early parts of the game is pretty bare boned. Um, and it feels like this sort of fills in more of the gaps, which is nice.
Okay.
Um, but as a consequence, obviously, feel a little bit slower. Because like there's 3 episodes out right now, and within the third episode, it only gets to where M4 like essentially she's like on a mission and she gets split up with her team, and then her only uh like plan is basically to go back. Like they split up, and M4 is the one that goes back to base to sort of get help for the rest of them. And in episode 3, like she just got like uh essentially um rescued or whatever, right?
Right.
And that happens quite early on in the game. Like M4 is like one of the first fucking characters you get in the game, if I remember correctly. Um, but obviously there's quite a few action scenes and stuff here and there. But yeah, in terms of audio visuals, right? Because it's really realistically, pretty much everybody watching this series has probably played the game, right? And they're kind of just watching it for fan service, right? I mean, it's a mobile game adaptation, so uh, you know, it's gonna be like just for fan service stuff, right?
Right.
So for audio visuals, I'm gonna say this series is pretty lacking. Um, it
Reasonable.
really it doesn't look too hot. Um,
I mean, were we expecting it to? Is the big
no. So
like because a lot of these things, like even when they do have like all of the money, like Jeff Bezos' money, like with like relative to like other series, right? they don't necessarily turn out well because it's like a lot of these are just like they're like literally just like yeah they're promotional materials. Fuck you, kind of like business, right? So
Yeah. Um. So it's tricky to compare as well, right? Because a lot of the stuff that's getting like you know a lot of the bigger games these days that are getting anime stuff is like Azure Lane and Fate Grand Order, right? And they've got money to throw around, right? And
mhm.
their stuff usually looks pretty good, right? If I remember right, the Azure Lane stuff pretty bad for a bit there, but
But the second one was way better.
yeah, the second one was better because like Yostar essentially made their own like in-house animation stuff, right? But Girls Frontline doesn't really have Yostar money, and they sure as shit don't have Type Moon money, right? And so it was sort of an expected outcome for this to really not look that great, but it's still pretty unfortunate, right? Some of the battles just look like something you'd see like quite a few years ago from like I don't want to say Dean because this does look better than like old school Dean shit,
Old
but
school Dean is
it
very
it's sort of like that level like
right.
for today's standards, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um However, what I will say is the soundtrack is pretty banging. It's pretty good. Um and the OP if you go to watch it has this really cool style to it, and it kind of makes me wish that they just animated the whole thing in that style. But it also looks like you know that would be pretty hard to do, so I kind of understand why they didn't do it. But yeah,
Mhm.
in terms of audio visuals, it's a little bit disappointing. Um, but it was sort of an expected outcome. Um, but yeah, overall, I think it's really not like it feels very much like a known quantity. You know what I mean? Like if you're
Mhm.
playing Girls Frontline, you know what you're getting into. Um, if you know about Girls Frontline, like you probably know what you're getting into. If you
The
have
thing
no
is,
idea, like
everybody within like a 500-mile radius of girls' frontline anime, like they're not gonna be like, oh, they're not gonna wander up to something like Girls Frontline or Idolmaster or Love Live or Azure
not
Lane
know what they're
or
getting into.
wherever. They're like, what is this? Like, what is this blade? What is this Rage of Bahamut thing?
Yeah,
Like, come on,
like
like, come on.
um, so like it's very much a known quantity.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see it be a little bit more polished, but again, this Girls Frontline, as big as it is, like it doesn't get fucking Star money, right? So, uh, I'd say, personally, again, I haven't played Girls Frontline in quite a long time, but I did get a kick out of seeing it again, basically. So I think if you're a fan of Girls Frontline, you might like to check it out. Although, from the little I keep up with Girls Frontline, the story and presentation have like ramped up quite a bit, right? As
Oh,
as a
okay.
lot of mobile games do, once they start to get popular and they start to get like legit money, they go, oh wait a minute, like people are playing our game. Like we could put money into like different ways of presenting the story and shit. So maybe if like you're more used to like what the current state of Girls Frontline is, might be a little bit more disappointed. I'm not sure, but for me, who's someone who hasn't played Girls Frontline in like a long time, um, it was nice. It was nice to watch. So I think if you're a fan, it's probably worth checking out. You know, it's not going to be like the coolest shit in the world, but I think you'll probably get a kick out of it. And I think if you're interested in Girls Frontline, um, you might you might like watching it just to see sort of like what the tone is like that. There is some
Right.
nice nods to like the game mechanics where one of the characters sort of taps in and starts commanding like the other gun girls, and they pan out to like a tactical map, which is basically just like the map you use in game, like to send uh girls to like the different nodes and stuff. which I thought was a nice nod. They make a couple comments about how certain gun girls have like different stats, like some one has like an S in like
Okay.
accuracy and stuff like that. So there's a couple of fun nods. But for the most part, it's not gamey. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was a fun watch. It's not the best looking show in the world, but I wasn't really
It's
expecting
almost like
it to be.
it's almost like what I said about I guess my series. It's almost like a throwback to like the 2010s.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's
it
like
does feel like an older series. Um,
yeah,
but not in a bad way. You know what I mean? Um,
right.
but yeah, it's okay. Uh,
Okay.
I think it's a little mid, but
A little
I
bit.
wasn't expecting it to be fucking super super amazing. Um,
Yeah, no.
but yeah,
It's
like if you're interested in the IP, I'd say check it out because
okay.
it's not bad.
Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Well, thank you, Nier, then, for helping to cover Girls Frontline. I know it was one of the bigger series that we want to
Here,
cover
who's
this
your
season.
favorite gun girl?
My favorite,
Who's your
I mean my
favorite?
I have two that I really like a lot. My favorites are like G36, Maid Girl. I like her a lot, and I like was it Zas, whatever, the AK or whatever, the blue haired chick. I like her a lot too. Um, and the new apparently they did like I forget what they call them, but like the call them like Digi mind upgrades or some shit. Um, Apparently AK-15 got one recently. She looks super cool. Um, but yeah, those are my
Okay.
my top three.
All right. Well, again, thank you, Nier, for helping cover Girls Frontline or Dolls Frontline in Japanese, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
So that's that if you want to check that out. And with that, we will finally move on to our news. We do have quite a hefty load of news this time around, so I am going to run through it a little bit more quickly than people might expect. So just hold on to the seat of your, I guess, pants. Right? Is that how the term goes?
I don't
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just hold on to your butts.
Hold on by the seat of your pants. Yes, hold on by the seat of your
Oh,
pants. All right, so here we go. First, throwback to what I talked about at the beginning of the podcast. Sekai Project announced on Thursday the Kickstarter page for the physical and digital release of Visual Art / Keys Studios Rewrite Plus VC visual novel that is sending Steam keys to backers. Blah blah, and it is also the company also revealed that it had to change some content with help from Visual Arts to make it acceptable for the Western digital Steam release. Sekai
whoa.
Project added that it will refund pledges for backers who find those changes unacceptable. So I'm going to link this news article link here and look at look at the CG changes. So
Yeah.
stupid.
I
Like the
mean,
fact that we're at this point is like really dumb. I fucking hate this. Like I'm not even one to like get. It's like the point of this is like I'm not really one to get mad at like oh they've got to be naked or whatever. But it's just like
Yeah, but they could
we
do.
everybody knows what they're getting into, and the fact that we have to go to such an extent to change it for quote unquote the Western release is like really stupid. It's just like
yeah.
no, like no. So for people who are don't find this unacceptable, they are accepting refund or they are allowing people to ask for refund. Next, a couple of company news. First, Dark Horse Comics, one of the bigger, if not like the biggest, like Western comic book group and company in NA and I guess in the West in general. Dark Horse Comics announced on Tuesday that Embracer Group AB has entered into an agreement to acquire Dark Horse Media. So this is
A
part of
Swedish video game holding company.
Yeah,
yes,
Embracer Group, if you don't know, owns like every
Gearbox,
under
THQ
the
Nordic,
sun from
Yeah.
yeah,
Europe. So
yeah, Deca Games, stuff like that. But yeah, So pretty interesting. We'll see how it pans out. Next, an interesting piece of news from Square Enix. Square Enix's president and representative director, Matsuda Yosuke, posted a New Year's letter on Saturday, which he addressed several topics such as NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and blockchains. Matsuda expects to see value of NFT-based digital goods to match their true estimated worth. He
Well,
looks for NFTs to quote-unquote become as familiar as dealings in physical goods. The medium-term business strategy that Square Enix had unveiled in May 2020 identified AI, the cloud, and blockchain games. Wow, that's like so many key buzzwords in like one sentence. As new domains to focus its investment in order to address these changes in the business environment. Who in the marketing fucking department made this phrase? All right, anyways, so that's that. Square Enix is focusing on blockchain, the cloud, and strengthening their investments in
Woo!
new technology.
Metaverse.
Next, AMC Networks announced on Wednesday that it has acquired Sentai Holdings, which include LLC, which includes Sentai Filmworks and the High Dive streaming service. The acquisition includes all the member interests from Cool Japan Fund Incorporated, a public-private Japanese investment fund. So they took it from Cool Japan, and now they have Sentai stuff.
well,
So yeah, this is a lot of licensing stuff such as Made in Abyss, Akame Kill, Food Wars, and Parasite, and so on. So, well, it's pretty interesting. A lot of licensing stuff moving over there. Next, another very interesting piece of news here. The Hollywood Report says they have to make sure to hit all the buzzwords on Square Enix so they can pretend they're up to date on tech. Yeah, bro, they're a technology company. They have to say these things: the AI, the cloud, blockchain technology. Anyways, the Hollywood Reporter magazine reported on Friday that Netflix and the Universal Studio Group's Universal Contact Productions, or UCP, are developing an anime series of Brian Lee O'Malley's Scott Pilgrim graphic novel series, along with Science Saru. So this is going to be interesting.
strange.
Scott Pilgrim is a story of a 20-something Toronto indie rocker's adventures in getting and keeping jobs, avoiding being kicked out of his apartment, and surviving encounters with the 7 evil exes of a new girl in town whom he has a crush. So it's like one of those very like classic like 2010s, 2000s like web comics. If you guys know like Western webcomic kind of stuff, it's kind of like those. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Science Saru kind of molds the animation style into their own stuff. Although, again, from what we've seen of their work in stuff such as Star Wars Visions recently, obviously, they're trustworthy, right? Next, Sasaki Taku, president of Tokyo Broadcasting System Holdings, or TBS Holdings, parent company of the Japanese television network TBS, announced on Tuesday that the company has made a full-scale investment of 2.5 billion yen, or about 21.6 US dollars. Sorry, 21.6 million US dollars in the company Seven Arcs Group. So this is TBS made the investment in an effort to strengthen its 3D and human resources. So Seven Arcs Group owns Arcturus, Seven Arcs, and Seven Arc Pictures, who does so they have licensing of the Manoha franchise, and they did stuff like recently they did Blue Period, Tonikawa, and Trinity 7. So Tonikawa, huh? Interesting. Okay, so some more acquisitions. Some news number stuff. Entertainment news website Variety published a list on December 30th, ranking television networks on the basis of their viewership in 2021. Adult Swim viewership dropped 25%. Jesus fucking Christ. To 386,000, while Cartoon Network's viewership dropped 26% to 201,000. Wow. That's a little bit.
Yeah, it's almost
harsh.
like Adult Swim has been literally killing off all of their good shows, and instead
Yeah.
of showing fucking garbage, like
Cartoon Brew additionally reported that Adult Swim's viewership has dropped 71.3% since 2014. Holy shit. Cartoon Network's viewership has dropped by 79.3% at the same time. It's also the fact that, like,
What do people not
obviously,
want to watch fucking Squidbillies for 5 hours a night? Like,
yeah, it's like a
I don't
combination
understand.
of like the shittier shows like not moving with like modern trends, the demographic that they had kind of becoming older and moving away, and the fact that like a bunch of other competitions and other like streaming platforms, especially like Netflix, Hulu, stuff like that, they're just like, yeah, we have like a bunch of different stuff that you might want to watch
I
instead of
mean,
being
the demographic they had, they've literally been like actively moving away from because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they killed off Venture Bros, they killed off Harvey
Rick and
Birdman.
Morty.
Yeah, pretty sure they don't even have Family Guy anymore, right? Because Fox has Family Guy
They do not.
now. So like really I'm pretty sure all Adult Swim has for like big shows right now is like Bob's Burgers and what, like Eric Andre whenever the fuck like seasons come out for that. And like the reason people were so like the reason people were talking about Smiling Friends so much is because it's like the first show that's come out on Adult Swim that has been like an Adult Swim show in years. Like people are sick of watching fucking Robot Chicken and like Squidbillies and fucking what is that like one mouse one that's just like just acid. It's just like it's just awful programs lately, and so it's no wonder people are gonna stop watching.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but again, it's obviously understandable to the people who have more than one brain cell. And next, last sort of company related news is Nikkei Asia reported on January 1st that companies and organizations from over 13 countries are cooperating to form the International Anti-Piracy Organization,
Yeah, I saw this.
IAPO, which will launch in April. Japan's Content Overseas Distribution Association, or CODA, is at the center of the new organization's prize. CODA includes 32 Japanese companies such as Kodansha, Shueisha, Shueisha, Aniplex, Kadokawa, Sunrise, Studio Ghibli, Bandai Namco Arts, Pony Canyon, Toei Animation, and more. IAPO will also include the Motion Picture Association of the United States, 6 members, including Sony Pictures and Netflix, approximately 450 members of the Copyright Society of China companies, and copyright protection groups from South Korea and Vietnam are also expected to participate in the coalition. Yeah, it's great. Instead of making the bottleneck, looser and globalizing your products and making it more appealing for people to just pick it up,
That's stupid.
yeah, sorry. I forgot. It's not about making the products more appealing and easier to access. It's about cracking down on those pirates. They're the ones
Yes.
causing all the
Yep.
trouble.
Yep.
That's true.
Yep.
I apologize. But yeah, I hope they send more people to manually search the internet to find piracy sites. Anyways, a related piece of piracy news, I guess, the Tokyo District Court ordered 2 advertisement companies, MM Lab and GlobalNet, to pay 11 million yen, or about 96,000 US dollars, for soliciting advertisements on Japanese language manga piracy site Mangamura. Manga creator Akamatsu Ken, creator of Love Hina and Negima Yuki Holder, filed a lawsuit against both agencies, claiming that his manga had been illegally posted on Mangamura. Blah, blah. So yeah, little piracy lawsuit here. Couple of awards stuff. The LA Film Critics Association named Hosoda Mamoru and Studio Chizu's new Bell, the recent one that's been all the craze. Ryu Tsuba Kasu no Hime, or also known as The Dragon and the Freckled Princess anime film, the runner-up in this year's Best Animation category on Saturday. Fleet anime film won in the same category. But yeah, I still haven't watched that. I really want to watch it. Damn it.
Yeah. I don't
I'm
know.
bad. I need to watch it.
Is it available digitally right now?
Feel like I'm gonna search afterwards, but I feel like it
Yeah.
should be by now, right? Yeah. Kono manga ga sugoi, part of the same sort of line as Kono light novel ga sugoi, or this light novel or this manga is amazing. There are a bunch of sort of mainstream, kind of very like vanilla-ish. Essentially, you shouldn't really trust them, but it's good to see if they have like certain titles or not. But they're a magazine that like ranks light novels or manga, right? But again, they're not necessarily super trustworthy. But here are some of the newer titles here. The top 20 on this list of manga for male readers are Look Back by Takatsuki Fujimoto, Chi Chikyu no Undo, Kaijin number 8, Dan Da Dan, Toki Higuro, Freeren, Beyond Journey's End, Oshinoko. Oh, most of these are actually pretty good. A Trillion Game, Paleo, Guernica of Paradise, Darwin Jihen, Hyperinflation, Tokyo Revengers, Narae, Note, Sayonara Candle, Korogaru Kyodai, Attack on Titan, fuck, Ashita Watashi ga Dareka no Kanojo, Blue Period, and Tsugumi Project. So most of these are pretty decent. Top 20 on its list of manga for female readers are Umi ga Hashiro Enduro, Tsukuritai Onna no Tabetai, Tsukuritai Onna to Tabetai Onna, Ok, The Inner Chambers, In the Clear Moonlit Dusk, In the Clear Moonlit Dusk, Onna no Sono no Hoshi, Blank Space, Kageki Shoujo, 幸せな食べて寝てま、幸せな食べて寝て待て、Branch Line, Do Not Say Mystery. Oh, this one I fucking want to read. I've heard good things
Yeah.
about it. Yuria Sensei no Akai Ito, Watashi no Janra ni Kami ga imasu. 自転車屋さんの高橋くん、三拍子の娘、魔女を守る、セクシー田中さん、いびてこない義母、A Sign of Affection, Heartstopper, and Muteki no Mirai Daisaku. So if a lot of titles that people might not have heard here before, it's not your usual whatever quintessential quintuplets or whatever. Check these out if you like some of them. Yeah, you might like some more of them on this list. Next on the awards list. Sorry, again, I'm going through these pretty quickly. It's been near Christmas time and New Year's and new year. A lot of Manga Taisho Awards. Manga Taisho Awards tend to be pretty good. Nominate a lot of good titles. The executive committee for the 14th Manga Taisho Awards listed this year's 10 nominated works on Monday. So the Manga Taisho 2021 nominees are Umi ga Hashiro Enduro. I should probably check this one out. Oshinoko was also nominated last year. Yeah, Oshinoko is like always on these lists these days.
Yeah.
Onna no Sono no Hoshi, Jitensha-san no Takashi-kun. Oh, this one also seems pretty good. Darwin Jihen, Dandadan, Chichiki no Undo, Trillion Game, Hirayasumi, and Look Back. The nominating committee is composed mainly of bookstore staffers who are in charge of their respective store's manga. The year's nominating committee consists of 99 individuals who selected from 235 titles. But yeah, most of these titles and like the nominated works and the stuff that's nominated are pretty good. Like previously, they chose stuff like Pre-Ren, Blue Period, Astrolost, Beastars, Golden Kamuy, or Uemogatari. They have a good track record, so do check these out. Let me link that actually in the chat here. Next, sorry, the NAACP announced nominees for the 53rd NAACP Image Awards. It is revealed that LaShawn Thomas and Mappa's Yasuke anime has been nominated for Outstanding Animated Series. So this is the story. In a war-torn feudal Japan filled with mechs and magic, the greatest Ronin never known, Yasuke, struggles to maintain a peaceful existence after a past life of violence. But when a local village becomes the center of social upheaval between warring daimyo, Yasuke must take up his sword and transport a mysterious child who is the target of dark forces and bloodthirsty warlords. The story of Yasuke, the first African samurai who actually served the legendary Oda Nobunaga, will be released to the world. So that's the one thing. And then there was another one, I believe, the Summit of God, which the manga itself is an adaptation of Yume Makura Baku's novel. The story follows Fukamachi, an avid wilderness photographer who discovers a link to the past in Kathmandu, Nepal. He finds a camera supposedly belonging to George Mallory, a mountaineer who went missing on Mount Everest. After meeting Joji Habu, a well-known climber with a passionate drive for the mountain, the two set off to uncover a piece of lost history. So if you do like what you hear, please check out Yasuke and
Strange.
the Summit of the Gods. Yeah, it's like some weird stuff. But yeah, do check these two out. Ta-da. Oh yeah, and the last one I really want to include, although it's more of a people news thing, but Yonezawa Honobu of Hyoka fame Hyoka, for those of you who don't know, it's ice cream in the Netflix localization title, and it's like called like Kotenbu, or like the literature, the literary club,
Bring
or
up
the
the
literature
Netflix.
club, or yeah, in yeah, in the localized title Kotenbu. So he won the 166th Naoki Prize for literature in his Kokurojo novel. So this is like an actual literature like prize. This is not a like just like a manga award or whatever. He's like, this is an actual novel kind of thing. So yeah, this guy is like a legit writer.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, sorry. So a little bit on the
Yeah, if he's so good,
yeah, where's his
Yeah, where's Yuka 2, dude?
yeah, where's his what is Shosetsu ni Naro fucking followers, bro?
Yeah.
A little bit on the manga front and magazine front. NTT Solmara Corp announced on December 14th that it was launched Manga Plaza, a digital contents library for manga and Japanese publications in the United States in spring 2022. Manga Plaza will offer titles from Kodansha and original titles that have yet to get English. So more like digitalization and globalization, pretty good. The Manga Plaza trial page will launch a pre-registration campaign on January 24th. Readers can access 72 manga titles free of charge during the pre-registration campaign. So, monthly subscription model granting access to a library of 10,000 content. The press release did not specify if this content means 10,000 titles, chapters, or pages. If it's 10,000 pages, it's gonna suck. Okay, God. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Again, more digitalization, more globalization is always good. For until the Japanese publishers really start fucking being Japanese conservative people who squeeze all the money out. But I believe for right now, um, if I had to choose between a future where there's more and more digitalization, globalization, but the Japanese publishers are being evil and kind of trying to squeeze all the money out, and there not being a future at all in terms of like digitalization and localization, I'll definitely take the former and just deal with the increasing globalization, because we need this. We need the bottleneck to be looser. This is how we spread the community and how we make it better and how people get more money and how we stop the piracy. It's not about
No, you sell more Crunchyroll subscriptions, I
that is
think.
true. We have to help the anime industry by
Yep.
helping Crunchyroll. That's how it
Yep, yep,
works.
yep, yep, yep.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in other news, the February issue of Takeshogo's monthly Kiska magazine revealed on Saturday that the magazine is suspending publication with its manga moving to Takeshogo's Gamma Plus and Comic Gamma manga websites. So yeah, more sort of paper magazines and stuff like that are moving to other sort of digitalization versions. This is again the story we've been hearing for the past, I want to say by this time, like 5+ years, right? So
Yeah.
it's more of the same. It's inevitable, but again, what we can hope is better, lower cost, better, more digitalization, more globalization possible. So faster releases, so on. The last piece of non-person news: Shueisha launched a new manga platform, Yoi Comic, as part of its media site Yoi on Wednesday. Shueisha had launched the Yoi Wellness media site. What the fuck is this Yoi? Is this like the Gwyneth Paltrow like gloop kind of thing? What is this? Media site in September
Hell
based on a
yeah.
theme of quote unquote body, mind, and sex, and trying to answer the question
Yep.
of why it is difficult to talk to friends and family about these subjects. Oh, is it like smut plus like different like gender kind of stuff? Is it like that? Yoi comic launched with Senjo Chiri's Junana-san about a sex. What's Tachi no Ria manga on Saturday. The manga tests 9 episodes 17.3 about a sex live action series. About a sex is part of the title, by the way. Which premiered on Abema TV on September 2020. If you're curious about this, I guess check out the Yoi comic website or whatever it is. So yeah. Again, I wanted to skip a little the people news for today, but I was a little bit too interesting, or not interesting, but a little bit. There's a lot of random shit, but I'll just go over them real quick. First, the 40-year-old manga creator Suzuki Kenya, the creator behind Oshiete Garuko-chan, was arrested for possessing child pornography. So, yeah,
No way.
don't be like that guy, kids. The
It's gonna be the
virtual
next
idol,
mangaka. Play bets now.
yeah, the virtual idol project.
Well, wasn't it that
Yeah.
didn't that person specifically go?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
imported from
Yeah,
Germany. I thought
he
they
was.
went to
they
Germany.
No,
no,
he
no,
was
he
he
came
was
back and he got
importing
arrested.
them
Yeah.
from Germany because like I guess he got bored of the fucking domestic CP market, so he had to go to Germany.
Yeah, you gotta
Fucking
import that. Gotta.
import
It's
shit.
like crack. Yeah, it's
Dude.
like drugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Apparently the police said he had like 47 like photo albums, like physical photo albums, like full of fucking pictures.
Officer, it is not mine.
So fucking
I
gross,
have
bro.
no idea how these got it.
yeah. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So, the virtual idol project Nanebun no Nijuni or 22/7 is pretty much disintegrating. Following like one person, like she had health issues, so she had to graduate, and the other person just like went AWOL, right? So after that, pretty much five of the others, Yuki Tojo, uh, played by Takatsuchi Urara, Umino Ruri, Kuraoko Mizuha, Takeda Aina, Hokazu Chiharu, and the respective characters that they play are all graduating at the same time, and pretty much it's disintegrating. So goodbye.
Don't worry,
Anyways,
they'll come back as VTubers.
I mean, they're probably more likely going to be voice actresses because they were voice actresses. They were probably trying to be voice actors before.
What are VTubers but voice actors anyway?
That is true. And the final piece of news, first news I want to quickly skim over. Narumi Runa, the person who took the role for Mitsumine Yuika in the Animemaster Shiny Colors franchise, who took a hiatus due to quote unquote health issues, but it's actually
Well,
because she was in a cheating scandal with a involving a very, very famous Japanese streamer, gaming streamer. Um,
Who?
like that streamer is
Kuzunoha?
extremely famous. What?
Kuzunoha?
No, fucking Kuzunoha is not nearly as popular.
Kuzuha?
Like, no, Kuzuha is not nearly as popular as like Moko
Isn't he
Sensei
1
is like
million? He's 1 million, isn't he?
he's not nearly as pop as
yeah, bro.
did I stutter? He's not nearly. Moko
Why
Sensei
are
has
you?
appeared on national TV. Like you don't understand.
So
So
has
Yeah, Sugita.
yeah, but yeah. Anyways, involving a very famous Japanese streamer. She
wait?
was
Is
cheating on
this
him.
is this the Shark Girl one? I don't know.
Yeah, this is the one where they had like the Chinese
I
people
mean,
had like the memes and stuff.
is this the Idol Master chick with the shark teeth?
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. So yeah, this she went
Uh,
on quote unquote hiatus due to quote unquote health issues, and then now she's retired. So good
Haha.
riddance. But yeah, and obviously Tatsuhisa Suzuki is also making his way out. Anyways, all the people in news aside and all the news aside, I apologize for having an extremely long segment, but again, Christmas, New Year's, a month of hectic stuff going on. And with that, we are finally on to our shout outs and call outs. This is everybody getting one call out, one shout out each. Shout out is something that you want to praise 5 out of 5 on Yelp, something that you want to praise to the heavens, cheer on, support, encourage, give it all you got, gambare. And it can be any one person, place, or thing. Call out is one thing that you want to rant about 0 out of 5. Why should this ever exist on Earth? Why did FromSoft make, why did FromSoft code this game like this? So on and so forth. It can be any one person, place, or thing. And of course, we will start with Dark.
Oh boy. Let's see. I think I'll just shout out. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna shout out our boy Phil Spencer. buying Activision Blizzard. Their game, they might release a game.
It's a monopoly.
Yeah, they might release a game again, and that would be really crazy. Imagine if another Warcraft game releases, as if because you just have like one of the most notable IPs of time.
Why would you make a
Stop.
Warcraft
Just
game when
not
you have
make
a
games.
you
Yeah,
have a
when there's an
world of
MMO. Yeah,
Warcraft, bro?
yeah, the MMO is out, so clearly you couldn't release anything else in that IP forever.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a thing.
It's like why is Riot bothering releasing these League games when there is literally a League of Legends?
Yeah,
There's
why
a league
release a
of them.
game? Yeah, why release a game like why release the new game?
Why release a game about like one or two of them
Yeah, when you
when
could
you have
have
a
the whole
game
league.
with a league of them? That's
Yeah,
just
it's
stupid,
true.
dude.
It is very counterproductive when you think about it. But yeah, so they might actually accomplish something now. now that they're under new management, Phil Spencer might actually ask them to make a video game. That might help. Might help the process.
A video game that isn't Call of Duty.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Yeah, it's just I don't know, man. Fucking there's really nowhere but up when you think about it because currently the status is also games not coming out. So, maybe Overwatch 2 will come out now. Diablo 4 instead of not coming out. That might be a good plan. Releasing the games be a recipe for success.
Yeah, usually when you put out a product, that's typically how you make money.
Yeah. Usually, you release a game.
What do I know?
And, it's true. We can have Master Chief in Overwatch now. That would be cool.
Yeah, that's true.
That would also be the first character Overwatch has received in like fucking 2 years.
I think more than that now.
No, Echo was like relatively decent in comparison. Echo came out like after Overwatch 2 got announced or something. But it was just like, who knows? Maybe they'll stop. Maybe they'll actually pay employees now. Maybe, maybe we won't lose creative directors left and right. Who knows? But yeah. My call out is going to be. My call out's going to be to two different people, two different non-specific people, groups of people. One here had brought it up earlier. The people who are like, "Oh, it's a monopoly. Microsoft is a monopoly," and it's like, in what sector? Like, first of all, like around you in the U.S. If you think the government's going to step in for fucking Microsoft owning video games, you're insane. Like, you have a choice of like one ISP anywhere you go in the fucking United States, and they all suck dick. Like, so there's that. You have a choice of like realistically 2 different phone providers that just have 37 different names. And that's it. Like, they're not about to be like, oh, Microsoft bought big game company and bought other big game company. Actually, we're gonna break this up because I guess as the U.S. government we feel fucking bad for Sony. I guess like I don't know what these people are fucking thinking, but the U.S. government isn't going to fucking care that Microsoft now owns Call of Duty and Halo at the same time. Yeah,
Bro.
like it's
Bro,
not
dude.
not only.
What if Microsoft owned Battlefield?
Yeah, wow. It's like it's not even close to being a fucking monopoly. Like not even remotely close, for one. Just like in reality, let alone based on how the fucking US operates. Like Microsoft is getting huge tech in general.
I mean, Microsoft
But also
literally
like does it
cannot be
fucking
removed
matter? Like
off the face of the earth, because if they do, multiple state and like multiple countries will fail at the technological level. Like I don't
yeah,
think
like
they like the US government will fail at the technological level on the very day that Microsoft goes out of like business. Like
yeah,
people don't
like
understand.
yeah, let's just fuck it. Let's just fuck up Microsoft that created the infrastructure for fucking like every electronic that the government runs. But
Mm.
you know, we're just gonna go in there with a little knife. The Linux anarchists. Yeah, but it's just like fucking. I don't know, man. Like that shit is so fucking stupid. Here, the other thing, the other one that really pisses me off is people buying into now this new narrative that's being pushed by like fucking two different literal Blizzard shills that are like actually Sylvanas' burning of Teldrassil moment and storyline that was actually also written by Alex Afrasabi. So when you really think about it, everything that's wrong with the game is actually because of this sex pest we got rid of. Um, so please come back. Please come back. Please ignore the
Please,
fact.
please, I beg you.
Yeah, please ignore the fact that we just brought up literally one plot point from fucking like 4 years ago. But when you really think about it, 4 years after that, we were just really locked into shitty storytelling and some fucking absolute moron of a fucking like story director. No, just ignore that. Ignore the fact that Steve Danizer, the fucking like story director, is on record saying that he thinks that Game of Thrones season 8 is good, by the way. That's good writing. Ignore that.
Or is he
Um,
wrong?
ignore that. Ignore Sylvanas' character being terrible for the past 4 years. Ignore fucking every other female lead in the game being horribly fucking written to the point of parody. Because when you really think about it, can women control their emotions? When you really think about it,
No,
yeah.
He's like, nah, I don't think so.
it's
We
not
just have an ancient
possible.
elven woman. You know, Tyrande can't control her emotions.
To be fair, what
Jaina
is the
can't
root
control
of
her.
the word? What is the root of the word hysteria?
That's true. Um, but it's like, it's just so fucking annoying because now it's like there's this fucking scapegoating going on where they're like, yeah, the sex pest is what is wrong with WoW's story. Just disregard the fact that it's been fucking terrible for 4 years and horrendous. Like, okay. Like, cool. You can try and blame. And also, it's like to fucking scapegoat someone for not even the most offensive part of your story. Like, it's like also like that means you let this guy as a non fucking story lead write fucking burning of Teldrassil, which was just awfully done to begin with, and then you thought your stepping stone there was, when you think about it, attempted genocide is forgivable.
Yeah.
like, that was your play. Your play was, really wasn't her. It was her bad half. But
Yeah, she
now
was
the
having a
good
bad day,
half
dude.
is back. So really, it's okay. Also, our new expansion doesn't have a story. Also, our new villain, we said Sylvanas, like, it was the Sex Pest's fault. Also, we're like 2.5 years into an expansion. Haven't told you what the main villain's goal is, or his motivation, or what any of his plans mean. But when you think about it, this main villain has also been active since Warcraft 2. So it's kind of a big deal, kind of cool. And how to write a character is to just say that they've been around for like 20 years. Game of an IP, and then you're good, you know? Like that's how you write a character. You don't need to show them doing it. You just need to say, yeah, they've been here for like since when you started playing the game when you were 10 years old, you know? Think about it. That's all you need, right? Like who needs to be shown what a character is doing? Anyway, that's the end of my WoW rant. Ultimately, the story was it's been shit, and it's the fault of the people who are there now. It's not Alex Afrasabi's fault, and no, there are some people that are going to try and say that it is. Steve Danuser wrote a dog shit story all on his own.
It's it's kind of
By the way, they're also on record with Steve Danuser saying that Shadowlands was it was a book in 3 parts that they planned all from the beginning.
Damn.
Shadowlands was from the beginning. Shadowlands was planned to just be a dog shit expansion, I guess.
That's pretty cool.
It was always planned to be a shitty expansion with one less patch and also fucking like 1/3 of the content of Legion. It was all part of the plan, baby.
It's a good plan, I think.
Yeah, it's a really good plan to plan from the beginning to not explain what your villain is or what he's doing. I think that's a pretty good plan, pretty good 3-act plan.
okay. So yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. No, at this point, it's like watching the destruction of Pompeii from X miles away.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, to wrap it up in a neat little bow, WoW used to be good, even with those people who were offenders there. It's not good for the past like 6 years, like at
Mhm.
all, and now they're gone. But like before that, it was good. So really, it doesn't fucking matter. Like it's like don't fall into the ploy of a fucking scapegoat.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you, Dark, for shout out to Pod. And Nier, what about you?
Um, I think I'm going to start with my call out. And it's going to be to um Final Fantasy 14 for so I don't know if anyone here uh or listening or whatever plays Final Fantasy 14, but the new raids came out a bit ago, 2 weeks ago, and the the way Final Fantasy 14 raids release is essentially there's 4 fights in a tier, right? And they come out in chunks. Usually they're like what, 6 months, 4 months apart, something like that. And so we got the first tier of the expansion a few weeks ago, and in the third fight, you fight this boss called Phoenix. It's a big bird that's on fire, right? And the bird is obviously he's on fire, right? So he's orange. The arena is this bright orange stone. And the surrounding area in the arena is these flaming ruins. And the skybox in the arena is this orange haze, right? And all of the effects the boss does are these bright orange flaming effects. And essentially what I'm trying to say is it is fucking impossible to see fucking anything in this fight. And it sucks ass. To the point where people have literally been making reshades, like reshade presets, specifically for this arena to make it less bright and easier to see. And even with those, it's hard to see. And it's really annoying. And it's a really hard fight too, for Savage. There's a lot of shit going on. You're moving around a lot, you know. There's like tethers and shit, and it sucks. It really sucks. It's not a very fun fight. And we've been stuck on it a bit, but yeah, that sucks, and it's just really annoying. As for shoutouts, I mean, I don't know. I think I'll just shout out fucking Monster Hunter Rise for being not Monster Hunter World and not having these really annoying like fucking filler quests where it's like, yeah, go into this fucking huge ass map and like pick up monster poop and monster tracks just to figure out which monster you're hunting. And then after you figure that out, come back to base so that way you can have a cutscene to talk about like the monster you're gonna. By the way, the monster you're hunting is like literally not even fucking a big deal at all. And this is just padding, and it's really annoying. Um, Luckily, Rise got rid of that shit because that shit was awful. And it goes back to classic Monster Hunter where you know you queue up for a monster hunt and you hunt the monster. And there's no annoying like tracking shit going on. Um, the Monster Hunter game. Yeah, it's fun. Fun game. Needs more content.
Okay. So pretty good, pretty good. So thank you, Nier, I guess, for shout out call out.
Yeah.
And with that, Toast, what about you?
My shout out. I don't know. I'll shout out. I'm gonna do my usual shout out to Hololive.
Okay.
Moonlight song's pretty good. Crony song's pretty good. Apparently, Myth and Gen 1 ID are gonna be at the third HoloFest, so good for them. They're finally gonna be on stage. Whether it's people are saying, oh, they're gonna be 3D, I doubt that, given the state of the world affairs still. But it's like a video or something. Well, whatever. Good for them. I'm gonna watch it. I got tickets. Expensive, but whatever. I'll be there.
Yeah.
That's my weekly Hololive shout out. Call out? I don't know. I'm gonna call out. I don't know. Hemorrhoids? Sure.
Jesus Christ, do you have
Yeah.
hemorrhoids?
Okay.
No. I
Oh.
no, I don't. Ew.
Just in
Why?
general, or
Yeah, I mean that's still a good call out. I agree that those are bad,
I like how
was
you
there a
said
reason?
that. No, I would never.
Ew, no.
I wouldn't be
Did you have
caught
a specific
dead with a
reason,
hammer in my
perhaps?
butt.
I have to deal with the fallout of them. I don't have them, is what I'm saying. So
Oh, okay. So
I have to.
somebody close to you, right?
Yeah. So I'm like,
Okay,
whatever.
that is unfortunate. Okay. Well, anyways, again, thank you very much, Toast, for your shout and call out. I guess I'll go over mine real quick. My shout out again is to uh, my work life balance, relax. Actually, it's to flat iron steak because recently I've been eating a
Wow,
little
flat
bit.
iron, fancy.
I've been eating like leaner steaks in terms of like some stuff I've been like changing my diet. Flat iron steaks are really good because they're relatively lean for what they are. They're like it's like 7 calories ish per gram of protein, so it's pretty good. And
Wow,
but
look at
they're
this.
still like
Look,
super tender and
look,
really
yeah, look at
tasty.
this fancy guy.
But the
Flat
issue
iron.
is that they're still like $8 to $9 per pound, so it's still
Oh,
expensive. So it makes me
how many
sad.
pounds are you eating?
I'm eating about 3/4 of a pound, so it's like 350 grams ish
And how many
per day.
dollars is that? Like 5?
That's like
Cheap?
that's like six whatever dollars. But I'm
That's
doing that
cheap.
like every day ish.
So
So
that's cheap. You
that's
can
not
get
too bad, I guess.
a
Yeah.
Biggie bag is $5 from Wendy's. What's your point? And yeah, you guys know flat iron is the second most tender piece of steak, huh?
It's like super tender. I mean I don't
Right.
I'm
It's
honestly a
right
person who
under
like
filet mignon. So look at this fancy guy.
I usually before I usually used to eat a little bit more on like sirloin tip and stuff like that. And I'm actually one of those people that I don't even mind like IF round. I actually don't mind that. But I do obviously want to find tastier cuts if I can. So shout outs to that. My call outs obviously is to the fucking local VM localization people. Stop localizing stupid fucking vanilla shit that is bad. Just like somebody please just oh my god, just localize August visual novel stuff. God, I'm so fucking sick and tired of manga gamers or
This guy
people sick
wants
and
his
tired of like
hardcore BDSM visual novels to be
yeah,
translated.
that's true. Sorry.
Spire, I got you. Check out what is this? Hentai House Party Gyaru Gangbang.
Yeah.
Just came out.
The
Like,
hit
yeah, let's have
visual
a.
novel
Oh,
collective.
Real
is that
shit.
racy enough for you yet, buddy?
Yeah. Do you need an uncensored CG patch? But yeah, I'm so sick and tired of these visual novel localization and people going like, oh well, it's better for us to do these smaller, shittier titles so we get our profits. Blah blah blah. Bro, fucking just release good titles and maybe people will buy them. And just
No.
fuck you. God damn it. I hate all these people. Just release good fucking titles. I don't maybe even something like just like Nukitashi. I'm not even asking for August stuff at this point. Just like something that's like good. Like stop fucking releasing these stupid like Nin days or whatever the fuck
Hey,
Nakaparo
I
7.5
like
or
Nin
whatever the
Nin Party. Was it Nin
God
Days
damn
2? I
it.
like that
Yeah,
one.
Nin days. Yeah, it's Nin days. God
What
damn it.
you want Kamiyaba Destiny on a dicey deadline?
No.
What the heck? DDD? It's Spire. It
Um
says 20 hours of visual novel story.
Wow.
wow, 20 hours.
Then it must
That's
be
like
good.
isn't that like barely on the medium range for VNDB? I forget what
20.
Yeah.
medium.
Three,
Yeah,
but
I think so,
medium
yeah.
is like 20 to 40 or 20 to 30 or something like that,
Something like
right?
that.
Yeah.
3 branching heroine routes.
Uh,
3.
3. That's like one fan disc in the 2010s. That's actually literally one fan disc in the
Yeah.
2010s. That's so sad. But anyways, that's my call out. And with that, we are finally done with our podcast for today. Again, thank you everybody for coming in and listening to our I guess, first ever review podcast of 2022 covering the winter season. We will be covering more series. Again, there are like 28 plus new series that are coming out. So again, we're not necessarily going to be able to cover them all throughout the entire season. So if you do have certain series that you do want to specifically cover, just contact us on social media and we'll try to see if we can cover it. But yeah, next, and then we'll have a regular schedule. So what's the next here? It's on the 5th. The 5th of February will be our next podcast. And if you do like what we do, we stream our podcast recording live every other Saturday starting from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over at twitch.tv/4PlayerAnimecast with the number 4. We record our podcast recordings here and have our highlight VODs on Twitch as well as on YouTube, so you can watch them whichever format you desire. We have our social media here on Facebook, 4PlayAnimecast, as well as on Twitter at 4PPAnimecast. Again, all with the numeral 4, where we talk about the latest and greatest. Where we talk about our where we give updates on our podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in Japanese animation media, anime, manga, light novels, web novels, visual novels, and so much more. So check us out here, check us out there, and as always, we'll see you next time.